Hey everybody, we're pre-show, live with the pre-show.
I just don't understand Adobe's everything they do is so bad.
We cannot hear it, Ryan. No, trust me,
cannot
I would
hear
be
it.
yelling at you, Ryan. We would have been live in our pre-show about 2 minutes ago, but Ryan
assaulted you. Apparently,
assaulted us with the loudest music.
Disable the audio track in the menu. Like, it's weird. Dumb.
I'm confident that I sound like a crackle boy now.
Cadme asks, "Loving the Wii?" Question mark. I don't think that's a Wii.
No, it's PSVR.
I don't know. I would have guessed it was a Wii too, so don't feel too bad about that.
Yeah. I have a PlayStation now. Isn't that just an accessory to the PlayStation?
Yeah.
The Wii?
No, idiot. The PSVR.
Whoa!
My head in that.
Sorry.
With the hostility?
Sorry, I need to.
You are an idiot.
Oh my god, I need.
Come on.
I need to loosen up.
All right. I don't condone this behavior. I do not approve. I distance myself.
PlayStation 1. Yes, it's PlayStation 1. Otherwise known as the PlayStation.
PlayStation.
The real edge is Bobby, says Neko Yoko.
How do you say PlayStation? And they're talking about Spanish in the chat, and I don't know how you would say PlayStation in Spanish.
How do you say?
It's a.
Is it like
noun.
PlayStation? PlayStation?
Here, I'll ask.
PlayStation? Did I say it right?
This.
That's like how you'd pronounce it, right? PlayStation? I'm trying to use the Spanish because it's a phonetic language. It's not like English. It's not bullshit like English. Like every letter has a way that it's pronounced. Look, I said it perfectly. PlayStation. Oh, no, wait. Wait, hold on. Oh, they just pronounce it shitty, according to Javi.
It's probably said the same way.
PlayStation. Okay.
PlayStation. PlayStation.
PlayStation.
PlayStation. See, English is awful. There's not even any way to know, even though they're trying to type it in English. Like, what is an EI supposed to sound like? No one knows.
I think somebody.
Even old McDonald doesn't know.
Yeah, EI. Oh.
Jeez Louise. Where'd the other bearded dude go? Where are you from, Alex the Ancom Squirrel? You're from the pilot, the unaired pilot teaser that we published like a billion trillion years ago?
Yeah.
What?
Alex the Ancom
they're asking
Squirrel
about
asks, where'd
Grant.
the other bearded dude go? Well, maybe we should take the teaser before we launch the show off of the like what do you call it? It's like the channel preview.
The front page, the featured featured position.
Yeah. Maybe we should take that down and add
the place of honor.
Which one should we put in its place? We could put
maybe we'll have one from this episode.
Reading PlayStations in the library, or reading Playboys at the library. We could put that one up there.
I want to put the Sonic the Hedgehog one up there.
Well, I'd have to cut that out. I've been so busy I haven't cut out mini segments in a while.
I might cut out the Sonic one.
What'd you say, Ryan?
Because you were completely wrong. We were trying to explain how wrong you were.
Your video is still like 3 seconds behind. That's weird.
Really? Who, Ryan's?
Yeah.
I'm telling y'all, it's Discord.
Maybe you should drop the call and join again. Oh, he's way ahead of me.
I've done it 3 times now. I'm not a fan of Discord.
I know, you tell
us
like every week.
I tell you about everything for 15 minutes before we start.
Look how many problems we have. I never have problems like this with Google Hangouts. I'm just saying.
I know. Why don't you tell us some more about it?
I'm just telling you my truth.
Yeah.
I'm speaking my truth.
Yeah. Google Hangouts looks like poop.
And it was the same problems, too.
We never even tried Tiny Chat. I went through all that effort to Google Google for 5 seconds about Tiny Chat.
We still haven't had that production meeting is the problem. Maybe we should schedule that sometime. I've been so busy.
I'm just saying it's your fault.
No, it is my fault.
Busy working
I'm not denying
everything.
it. I've been busy working on this fundraiser that are.
This isn't a trial. You're not under trial, Bobby. You're just guilty.
Yeah.
He's just trying to get a chance to talk about his fundraiser.
Yeah. I've been working on this fundraiser we're about to launch for this network.
Oh, a fundraiser.
I'll talk about it next week because it hasn't launched yet.
It's a sneak tease preview for all those Bobby fans.
It's not like a charity fundraiser, by the way. We keep all the money to run the network with. Last year we were in a position to be able to give half of it to charity, though. It's just we have not been so lucky.
We have one of these. By the way, speaking of actual charity fundraisers, just so I can look better than Bobby.
Yeah,
we're selling these CMT-AFI side caps. And the proceeds go to Rojava. We've got one left on the non-compete web shop.
What's a side cap?
You know. It's one of these guys. Hold on. I want to mess up my beautiful hair.
It wasn't SNES. I call it SNES. I think some people call it Super NES, but I've always called it SNES.
Okay.
It's what the Spanish anarchists wore. I call it Super Nintendo, and I'll never change.
Yeah, I call it a Super Nintendo.
Has their own variation. But I had a friend streaming it earlier, Turtles in Time. It was like, yeah, that's a good choice.
Excellent choice. Who we got here in the chat? We got Chris with a bunch of numbers. Hi. Mitsuki Kazan.
It is not the McDonald's employee's hat. You take that back.
Igiona Lord. Igiona Lord. I like that name.
Igiona. Oh. Igiona Lord?
Of course, we've got Neko Nyoko and Cadme. Hey, guys. How you doing?
Is Igiona Lord related to Matt?
Time to mute that phone. Oh, here we go.
Wow. Even the insiders of that inside joke didn't get it.
I got it. I'm just ignoring your inside joke.
Yeah.
I'm ignoring your face.
Too
beautiful to look at.
Man,
like
you are on
freaking.
You are on fire tonight. You've been practicing. You got your comedy chops.
Old grumpy boy.
Cuñado de Izquierdas. Is that how you would pronounce that?
I think so.
I'm doing more Spanish.
Cuñado de Izquierdas.
I also dropped out of Spanish 3 in high school. Me and Ryan both did, so that we could take Latin and make it just to fulfill.
Yeah, and I was the only one left. All alone with that guy who was kind of funny, but also kind of got on my nerves. Can't remember his name. I never will. He's dead to me now.
What were our Latin names? I think I was Amadeus.
You had a cool one. You were Amadeus, and I was Octavius.
Oh yeah.
Latin is the best language, I guess.
Latin's not the best language.
It's not. I was trying.
Bollocks. It's a dead language, so
I was
guess
trying
if
to be
you like
positive,
dead things,
and agree with Cadme in the chat, but I couldn't.
The great thing about Latin is I could totally insult it and nobody can get offended because it's a dead language. No one speaks it anymore.
Right. That's not really how that works.
How is that not how that works?
Because someone in chat's about to be like, "Hey, you stop being a jerky."
I've studied this language my whole life.
You wasted your life. Now you're about to die, just like your language.
Is that a threat?
No, it's a promise. Whoa. You're old in this scenario.
Everyone dies.
It's a scenario of an old.
We don't all die.
Speaking of Grant, the other bearded guy who's not on the show anymore, he also spent a large chunk of his life studying Latin.
Yeah.
He does all languages.
He had a degree in classics.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess he still has the degree. I don't know why I'm speaking in the past tense.
But does he still have the Latin? Or the Latinum?
Probably.
Show me the Latinum.
Oh, Quark.
Sorry, I'm trying to move this over to the Ferengis. I'm doing my best.
Is that your the mini game you play every episode? Make this one about the Ferengis.
You can't go wrong. I call it the Ferengi maneuver. It's a maneuver of linguistics. Hey, it's almost time to start the show.
It is almost time.
Let's do the syncing.
I'm ready.
Now.
Yeah, that's a good idea. That's a good idea, Ryan. Let's do the syncing now. Turn on your recording software.
This is the first time we've ever.
I'm ready to sync this ship. You see, I did a little metaphor.
I see what you did.
Simile.
Yeah.
Are you going to explain everything every time tonight?
Alliteration. No. I want my drive, my Google Drive.
He says, no, I will not.
Deal with it.
I don't need a Bobby Jr.
No. Bobby?
Man, I don't know.
I felt like I was picking on you too much, Edge, so I had to spread it a little bit.
around. Yeah, I got you.
Was your life changed by King of the Hill, Bobby? Did that have any like impact on your psychology? I kind of feel like it would.
I mean, it made me roll my eyes a lot more. I think like it increased my eye roll count.
Come on. You can't blame people though.
I don't get mad at them. I mean, I don't want to take away. They always think that they're the first ones to make the joke.
I don't. I do it mostly because I'm not the first one, and I think it might get on your nerves.
But anyway, I don't want to take that away from you. So.
You can't take that away from me.
All right.
Okay, I'm ready to
sink.
sink. Wait, hold on. Yeah, okay, I'm ready.
All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1.
You caught me off guard with that third one. I thought we were done. I put my hands down.
Gotcha.
I was done with it the minute I saw it.
Gotta stay on your toes with that third one.
I don't like toes.
I don't either. I'm not a foot fan.
I mean, not being a fan of feet's one thing, but like disliking them.
No, I dislike feet. Yeah.
Okay.
I just like feet. I like standing on them though. It's cool. Walking.
Thanks
running.
for clarifying that.
I just don't want to look at them. Yeah. Keep them in the shoes.
I'm with you. Clop, clip,
Keep
clop.
them in your
yeah,
socks.
in the clip, clop. Clap, clip, clop.
Too close for missiles. Switching to guns.
Uh-oh. Neko and Yoko, are you a fan of feet?
There's a few feet fans. I'm not going to lie.
There's a few of them.
Is there a term for liking feet?
Feetophilia. I just made that up.
Thank you.
No, God. The only word I can think of is a horrible word.
Yeah. It's not what you're thinking right now. Unless you like overpronounce it, like pedophilia.
Oh no.
That's an awful.
Yeah.
That's an awful coincidence for anybody who likes feet.
I didn't turn off my AC.
They should probably come up with another word.
Oh, well.
Maybe they use the Greek word instead of the Latin or something. I don't know.
All right. I'm going to test some buttons real fast.
Oh, that's even...
That makes sense.
Let's see. Test these buttons.
Thank you, Chris.
I wouldn't want to have to say that a lot about myself because I would definitely mispronounce it all the time. So...
What would you say instead?
I like feet.
Wink, wink, wink.
I would say
saw my clever trap and he stepped aside.
I am a fellow of the foot. Would you like to discuss footy things? I'm disgusting myself actually right now.
Yeah, like the Foot Clan, Ninja Turtles.
No offense to people who. I mean, I'm not kink shaming. It's just I happen to have an aversion. It's like it's not kink shaming if you just happen to have an aversion to somebody else's kink.
I think it depends on how
hard you
go into hating it.
Well, yeah, you shouldn't be I guess I shouldn't belabor the point. That's probably when you start to stray into kink shaming.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Maybe that is actually no, because I'm not ashamed. I don't think you should be ashamed if you like feet. I know that I'm the weird. Actually, I feel like I'm the weird one because I don't like feet.
No, you're not.
Honestly, I feel self-conscious.
I think the point is I think the point is that no, you're not the weird one, and neither are the people who have the kink. You see what I'm saying? Shoe nudes, please.
Shoe nudes? Now, shoes I can get into.
Yeah, I do like shoes a lot.
I'm a big fan of shoes. I don't know if it's... it could be the psychological thing. Maybe I like shoes because they're so good at covering feet.
Ryan, what happened? You got your video got off again.
I thought that was just me.
Weird.
Yeah.
Not do anything.
That is weird.
Doobie bum.
All right, why don't you leave and join the call one more time, and then we'll get started.
Boo.
Don't say one more time. It's going to be like 10 more times probably.
Shut up. I'm still here. I can hear you.
Yeah.
I came right back.
The very next day. Thought he was a goner.
One.
Ryan.
Yeah, there we go. Okay. Let's get some silence, and then we'll do this. Coming up on today's episode on JBYC, Ampersands have an interesting history.
Semicolons be damned.
I had a thing written down that was supposed to be a joke about Interrobang, bang being in Interrobang, but I'm not going to do that. We're just going to talk about periods of time, because periods, get it, whatever. But we're just going to talk about random stuff.
All that and more on today's episode of JBYC. Why does this happen to me every time? Of JBYC.
Join both your colons.
Hello.
Hello.
I almost did it right
Hello,
there
and then we all
myself.
say hello, and that's the cue.
Yeah. Hey everybody, it's Monday, May 20th, I think, 2019. I'm Bobby
Good job.
Frankenberger, and you're listening to episode 9 of JBYC, and I actually updated the notes this time. This is the show where the three of us who've been friends for a real long time, and we get together and talk about what's been on our minds the past week. Every week we have a topic or a theme or an inspiration for what we shall talk about, and this week's theme is punctuation gone sexual. Let me go ahead and introduce my fellow co-hosts here. First up, as usual, Ryan. How's it going, Ryan?
I thought you might have done American first that time, but nope.
Nope.
The hierarchy
never.
is established. I'm going to have to start tearing shit down.
Uh-oh. That's right. And the third person there.
Colin.
The third person there is going to start tearing it all down is my other
Yes,
host.
he is.
Edge, EJ,
Yes,
or
he is.
The Edge, American Johnson.
The third person, he shall, as a sign of protest, he shall refer to himself in third person.
Yeah.
Hey,
For
the
the
Edge.
rest of this, until change is effected. Yes,
For the-
what would you
for the
like to
list-
say
for
to
the-
him?
For the viewers, the Edge is in a vaporwave fancy place now. Why'd you change?
I don't know. Sometimes he feels like changing things up a little bit, you know? Sometimes he wants to mix it up.
Oh,
Also,
yeah,
he
you're
was a
talking
little
about
bit
his
afraid he might have
background.
been
Yeah.
giving people headaches with the VHS glitchy things. He doesn't know.
That's a good thing to be afraid of, giving people headaches. Whenever I feel like I'm giving people headaches, I also decide to figure out what might be the source of that. Today's episode is brought to you by no one in particular, but we are happy to take your ad reads if you send them to us at jbycshow@gmail.com.
You can even pitch your own YouTube channel or whatever if you want.
Yeah,
or
yeah,
if you
we-
podcast.
We enjoy reading the funny ones, of course, sure. But as we've said before, we're happy to spread the word about whatever creative project you're working on or anything like that, or if there's a cause that you're championing, then
As long as you're not a Nazi or a friggin', I don't know.
Well, you want to do a quick power minute
Bingo.
of this, because someone has
Yeah.
asked in chat, of the three of us, who would be the first to resort to cannibalism if necessary?
good.
Bobby.
Bobby also. I said Bobby.
Oh my gosh. I mean, I think I'm gonna take that, it as a compliment. You guys think of me as the practical, the practical.
You look the hungriest of all of us.
I think because you have children, you have your boundaries for
instincts.
care have been broken down. You're like, I've seen worse.
It's all that diaper changing.
Yeah, it's just human flesh. I once had poop splattered in my mouth.
I mean, who hasn't?
Right.
That's why
Who would be
people
second?
don't love watching the show.
I don't know who would be second. I can't decide between me and American.
I think I don't know. I don't have any compunction. I would definitely eat you two if I had to.
But
I think you would be. I like to think you'd be cool with it too. I don't think
Okay.
either of you would care.
Changing my answer. He's number 1. Bobby's number 2. I'm number 3.
No,
Well, no,
I
saying,
still think.
I'm assuming you've already died. I wouldn't murder you to eat you.
But I also think Edge over there might be the one most likely to gag as he's trying to work
Oh,
it
yeah.
up, work himself up to it.
I'm a
you know?
picky eater.
Yeah, he'd
Y'all
be
better
like,
be delicious.
all right, I guess I'm gonna. I can't do it.
Like I would be more likely to eat you than I would be to butcher you, and I would be more likely to kill you than I would be to butcher you. I think the butchering is the part I don't want to do. I've had to butcher animals before, like when I was a kid and my uncle or my grandpa would take us hunting or whatever.
Yeah, so this happened.
Not really hunt. I didn't really hunt. I never killed an
never did
animal with
that.
a hunting, but fishing. Fishing was
cried
not
when
good.
we caught fish. I don't like doing that stuff.
And I had to be around when my grandpa would do it. I don't want to upset anybody who doesn't want to hear about this stuff, but I'm just saying I don't think I could do that part of it. But I could. I'd eat you though.
My mom made me go turkey and deer hunting with a family friend who did that because she thought that I was gay, and she thought that would fix it. I guess she felt like she needed to fix it, so she thought that would do it.
Oh. You never told us that part of the story, Bob.
Really?
you left that part out.
Well,
but that makes it a lot more.
She
like,
doesn't
sad.
feel. Let me in defense of my mom, she doesn't feel that way anymore. You know, like she doesn't have those terrible opinions of.
A couple of decades will do that.
Yeah. In fact, my sister
and getting married.
Yeah. So but anyway, that's just I've never thought of it as a weird, sad story. It's just like one of those stories of my childhood.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of questions I want to ask you, Bob, but I guess I'll probably ask you offline.
I'm suddenly
and
scared.
that's our
because I knew this. I knew that you were
segment.
like forced to go hunting, and I remember it because I was there when it happened.
Yeah.
But I didn't know of all the context, so.
Yeah, it's not a traumatic part of my life. Don't worry. Except for when I don't know if this is a normal thing for all deer hunters or if it was just this hunting club. But apparently if you kill a deer, your first deer.
Yeah, content warning. I know what he's about to say. This might upset some people. So
content warning for anybody who loves animals even a little bit. They took like they drain because they hang the animal up and like drain the blood out because I guess you have to do that, and they like smeared and poured some on me, and that was really kind of scary, but it didn't traumatize me. So
yeah, you talked about it like you thought it was kind of a little bit cool.
Well, at the time, well, I mean, I'm this like 13 or 12-year-old hanging out with a bunch of people who are like, this is awesome. No, I know.
I think I was honestly a little bit jealous of you.
Look,
I was
guys,
like, I want somebody
can we go back to
a bunch of men to pour blood on me?
Talking about that.
Can we go back to talking about eating each other? Yeah, I think you're right. That's a tamer conversation right now.
Jeez.
Well, okay, I have one last question about the cannibalism thing though. Like, and I just want to make sure I'm not alone on this. Like, if we were in a plane wreck and I died, you would eat me, right? I would want you to eat me.
No.
Well, now that you've said it, I guess I would. Yeah.
Like if it's been a while.
Like if you're starving.
Well, here's a question.
I would.
What if what if you land on a deserted island? Yeah. One of you dies. Right. Okay, so you have the question of, do we eat that person now, even though there might be animals we can hunt and kill on the island? But if we don't eat the person who just died, that's meat that's gone to waste. You know?
Yeah. That's how I look at it. No, the only thing about cannibalism is you can get some diseases from it. So that's the only thing that gives me some pause about it.
I mean, we're
but if you didn't get diseases from eating people,
anyway. Let's face it, we're not gonna survive. Like, we're not gonna live a long life on this island.
Yeah, so I probably won't.
It's like a hospice island.
I'll just drink some of the seawater, go crazy, go island mad.
So you'd rather hasten the process than become a cannibal.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying. All I'm saying is I don't care if somebody eats me if you're in a plane crash with me. And I don't want you to murder me to eat me. Yeah. That would not be fun.
Right.
But I just don't have any. I don't have any of this like the human body is sacred. I just don't even believe that. I mean, like once it's dead.
Right. I got you.
I don't know. I mean, I guess you should be like respectful.
Yeah, you know, but insofar as the person would want you to respect them, right? Like, you've made it clear that it's okay for us to eat you, so I'm okay with it. I'll do it. I'll eat you.
I'm like the Klingons. They're like it's just a vessel.
Right.
After I die, though, I do want you to raise your eyes to the heavens and shout a mighty roar to warn Stovokor that a warrior is about to arrive.
Yeah. That's important.
Look, I only want the flats. I don't want any of the drumsticks or anything like that. So I'm gonna have to send this order back. I don't want to eat this part of Aaron.
Yeah.
What are the flats?
Those are the wings.
Oh God. Oh, the wings are the worst.
Nah, dude, you pop them.
Are wings white meat or dark meat?
I think they're usually white meat. Thinking about how often I've eaten.
I just eat the celery.
Chicken wings.
When people have wings, I just eat the celery. With the blue cheese.
Celery. We're done here.
Dang it, Bobby,
Oh, I screwed it up. That was good timing, I thought.
Dang it, Bobby, that's exactly what we don't want.
One of these weeks, I'm going to get that
Celery?
transition right. For those watching on the stream, yes, Ryan is like 3 seconds behind. Deal with it. That's the last I'll say about it. And
But my voice isn't.
yeah, the audio is perfect.
Then whatever.
So we're talking about punctuation, gone sexual maybe this week, but at least punctuation. And I thought I'd start with a little cool punctuation story. I bet you thought you never knew that there could be one. You guys know what an ampersand is?
Yeah, and I've read the Wikipedia article like 3 times, and I always forget. That's why I've read it 3 times.
Yeah,
I mean, like the story, the history of it.
Yeah, it's a really, I think, really interesting. I like etymology to begin with. We've said this many times before on the show, so if you guys probably know that.
Looks like a pretzel.
Yeah, but the ampersand looks like a pretzel. Everybody in the chat room is typing an ampersand now. Thank you guys for letting everyone
I never know how to do it correctly.
Yeah,
Like I can do it in
It's
my
a
mind.
interactive-
But once I try, I'll mess up.
Oh, you
Interactive
mean if you're trying
intergagement.
to write it on paper?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I always accidentally write a cursive S. But it's
I have
basically
no idea what I end up. Yeah.
So an ampersand is that. But the history of the ampersand is really interesting. So back in the olden days, when people would recite the alphabet, children would learn to say the alphabet, the letters of the alphabet, whenever they would say letters that could also be words by themselves. Usually these are vowels, right? Like A is a word, but also a letter. I. Back then, O was just spelled O without the H at the end. So when they were reciting those letters, and they would get to that letter in the alphabet, they would follow it by per se. So it'd be like A per se, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I per se, J. And the reason is because per se translates to by itself. And so the idea was it cleared stuff up, right? So you would know that was a letter that could also be by itself. And the reason they did that while reciting the alphabet was so that children would learn to, when spelling things, they would learn to follow it by the per se, because it would clear up confusion about spelling like I guess a series of words together if you were dictating or something like that. And if you got to a word that was just the letter, like if you were dictating a dog and you were saying the letters, you would say A per se, D-O-G. That way people didn't, I guess, think you were saying A-D-O-G as one word. Anyway, so the point is...
See, this is one of those things about old style teaching. It's like they just confuse the shit out of the kids.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, there's no way that's helping anybody.
It's one of my
It's like,
conversations.
I know you're learning the alphabet, children, but let's also learn Latin. And
well, Latin's super important.
Come on.
Do you remember
going
being
over
told
my
in-
head.
Do you
I'm
remember
a
being told in
35-year-old
school-
man.
Do you remember being told in school that you should learn Latin if you were going into the medical field?
Yeah, is that not true? It sounds
Sort
like
of,
it should
yeah.
be true.
I mean, Stephanie, my wife, is a pharmacist, and I don't think she's ever felt like Latin benefited her.
Well, I feel like they make
she
you
might
learn
not realize
the
it.
relevant bits in med school.
Maybe. I guess being like, I almost said a real doctor, and if Stephanie was listening, she would yell at me. But I guess if you're going to be like a practicing medical doctor, then maybe that would be more useful. But anyway,
I think it's
I
one of
used
those
to
things where it's
say-
like it probably doesn't help a lot, but it might help enough that it's worth it if you don't feel like learning a
like it breaks
actual
down
living language.
those cognitive walls and makes the processing of information easier or something like that.
Yeah, but I mean, probably studying any other language would probably have the same.
Yeah.
So you might be wondering, why does this per se thing, what does it even mean, right? Like, how does that matter? So the other bit of info.
Wait, real quick. Just because Javi's about to sign off,
Yeah.
Javi said something funny earlier, which was just that it sucks to draw an ampersand, and that's absolutely true.
Yes, it. Absolutely.
Good night, Javi. Thank you for joining us.
Yes, thanks for hanging out. So at the end of an alphabet, there used to actually be 27 letters in the alphabet, and this is the key extra bit that'll make it all make sense. And the last letter of the alphabet was the and symbol, what we know now as the ampersand, and they just called it and.
No.
That's what it was.
I don't believe anything you're talking about. The words coming out of your mouth are lies and poppycock, per se.
They did not have an and letter in the alphabet.
Yeah, so
American,
it used to be.
look it up. I'll keep on grilling him.
It used to be the 27th letter in the alphabet, and so it was because it can also be a word by itself, they would follow it with per se. And it was, since it was the last letter, you would say, you'd be like, right now we say X, Y, and Z. Well, then you would say X, Y, Z, and per se.
Oh my
and.
God. I'm looking at an 1863 textbook displaying the alphabet. Dude, this is... No, you know what? I'm having a Mandela effect moment right now and feeling like we've slipped into another dimension. Because I told you at the beginning of this that I've read the Wikipedia article on the ampersand like 3 times. And I would have remembered that there was a 27th letter of the alphabet in 1863.
I deal with a lot.
It's not even
of
that
old
long ago.
Like texts that old, and I read through a lot of them, and I've never noticed this before. But now I'm going to notice it all the time. It's going to annoy the hell out of
they
me.
use and. So use the
Why
letter
did you do
and in
this
a
to us,
word,
Bobby.
Like what? How would the letter and? How was it pronounced?
It was just and. And that's the whole point, right? No. Because the letter was called and that's why they had to precede it with per se, because it was a letter that was a word in and of itself. So, and per se, and. So it's itself and.
That's bizarre.
So
the people are with me. You falsified Wikipedia.
And per se and got jumbled together just to be ampersand. And yes, Mitsuki Katzen mentions the amperes and, which is what a lot of people think. There's Andre Marie Ampere in his writing would a lot of people thought that he used it a lot, this symbol, and that's where it came from, and it was just a jumbling together of amperes and, but that's folk etymology. That's actually not true. It's
like this.
I just can't believe this. It doesn't make any sense. Why would they do that?
Eventually they dropped it from the alphabet.
Why would they? Well,
I mean, there is lots of weird topographical stuff too, where like letters are printed certain ways, even though they're not written that way back in like the 1800s. So I can understand that version of it. The type
and is not even the most common word in English. I don't even think.
Well,
like what's the most common word in English?
The, THE.
Yeah. See,
se.
why don't we have a the persand? The persand. That would make more sense.
I don't know. You're gonna have to talk to the crafters of the alphabet, our forefathers, the great crafters of the alphabet.
No, I'm not talking to them.
No,
because they're dead.
They did a bad job anyway.
Yeah. Why don't we that was a fun story, right?
It's time for the edge.
No.
It was bad.
Kind of a share.
It upset me.
I'm sorry to have upset you.
You're a bad person.
Why don't we well, you know what I think would cheer us up is talking a little bit about semicolons.
No, you're gonna make me even more upset. All right, look. I thought long and hard about this episode. I was like, what am I going to talk about? I did for days.
Yeah, I did too, because guys, this was a hard topic.
Well, the ampersand thing was a pretty good little pullout of your hat.
Thanks. I have a lot of good
Bad you didn't do that with.
Why has it gone sexual though?
Jokes. I just was going to make a sexual joke. Should I go ahead and make the sexual joke since?
I mean, you have to tie it in, yeah.
Since we're going sexual with this punctuation, I was just gonna say, because I was saying it was like a good pull out, and then I was gonna say, too bad you didn't do that with your kids.
Heyo!
That was both the sexual joke and it was demeaning of Bobby's life-born children.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Yeah, that was a double whammy. Ampersands are pretty sexy.
Just like
They're
your
real
just
curvy.
like your kids. That wasn't really sexual, but it could be construed that way. All right.
If you squint your eyes, an ampersand looks kind of like two people doing it. And I'm not saying that
or one person.
or one person.
No, wait, hold on. No, it does not. What?
I'm not.
No, if you look at an
Listen,
ampersand,
listen.
it could definitely look like one person doing it.
Yeah.
One
There's no-
person, yes.
I'm not saying that I masturbate to the ampersand.
But if you
We
did,
weren't
it would
saying
look
that.
kind of like
We
the
weren't saying
ampersand. It literally looks like that. Now I'll never be able to unsee that. It looks like a guy sitting down and going to town.
All right. Our audience wins because punctuation has gone sexual. Here we go. Much to the consternation
so
of
funny
Ryan.
when once you see it, you can never.
Oh yeah. Okay. So
I'm sorry.
broke
That's
him.
just so funny. It looks like he's really enjoying himself.
do we need to take a break?
He's really enjoying himself. That little emoji man.
Yeah.
God, jeez, Louise, how has nobody noticed that before? I'm crying. Oh my God. All right.
So semicolons are good.
You went southern. Said, "Geez, Louise."
All right. There's nothing funny about semicolons, though. All right. I'm just looking to make sure there's no other punctuation that
Okay,
can so easily
until we
go
were done with
sexual.
the ampersands, though, there's nothing funny about them either.
Yeah, that's true.
We got to go for a trial to get to this tribulation.
Ah, Jesus. Sorry. All
Tribulations are
right.
bad.
That was ridiculous. I apologize. I lost control. Okay, the semicolons. First of all, every time I think about semicolons, I think about this terrible song, Semi-Charmed Kind of Life.
I really like
Let's
that
just get
song.
that out of the way.
Yeah.
I want something else, Ryan.
Baby. Okay.
What? Okay, so the semicolon, it's just like I understand.
So
No, I
hold
don't
on, let's do
understand.
this
Nobody
properly,
understands.
right? Let's do this properly, right? For everyone who doesn't know, explain what a semicolon is.
If you look next to your L on your keyboard,
It's the
and
winky
unless you have-
face.
unless you have one of those weird German keyboards that I always accidentally buy here in Vietnam, there's a colon, which is the dot above the dot, or a dot above a period, and then below that we have a semicolon, which is a period above a comma. And because I was looking at the whole keyboard, this is how I came up with this show topic. All right,
Thank you for
anybody
actually
wants to get an
explaining
idea
what a
into my
semicolon is.
thought process. And I was just looking at all the punctuation, and I was like thinking about it. And originally I was thinking the tilde, right?
Yeah.
You know what the tilde is it's the squiggly line next to the one.
Yeah. If you put,
And then there's also that backwards apostrophe.
oh yeah, the back tick. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
think so.
So, I mean, I think that the back tick is kind of like a vestigial organ on the keyboard, because nowadays most word processors either have like a neutral apostrophe that can be used in the opening and closing, or they'll automatically back and forward tick them.
Yeah. Programmers
But
have
I guess
used
they're-
the back tick to effect.
Well, yeah, and a lot of this
These
stuff
are
is going to
books.
be
In
related to
markup code.
programmers.
So.
So then, I mean, I don't know. I think the back tick is kind of annoying. I wouldn't need it on my keyboard. I would also be happy without the tilde, personally. I mean,
I use the
but the
tilde all the
tilde, I mean, the tilde is useful, I guess, for like, what do we use tildes for? Why do you need a tilde?
The textual method of making it your word elongated by putting a tilde at the end of it.
That's what they do in Korean, actually.
And
So, like,
Japanese
because
too.
they-
It's
'cause they're- yeah.
in the middle.
All right, so
Also,
for
if you put
purposes
it in
of-
front of your ASCII penis, it looks like it's climaxing.
I would.
You've
do,
really,
got it.
you really
We've
welded
gone
yourself
sexual
to this
again.
topic, huh?
I've decided to embrace the theme.
Yeah,
Oh, you've gone sexual with
someone is.
punctuation.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Well, Bobby sold me. I'm sold on the tilde. So, all right.
yeah, but until
We
it's
got
for
it. We don't want to lose that. That's
Yay.
important. All right. So then the rest of these, the whole number row kind of makes sense.
Wait, are we
I mean,
doing the
exclamation
whole
point for
keyboard?
sure. No, I'm taking you through my thought process. All right.
I want to go for your thought process. Now.
We got a whole show to fill, Ryan. Do you want to talk about whatever you're going to talk about for 30 minutes?
Maybe.
I'm just saying. All right, the number sign's good. The dollar sign, okay, until the revolution. Percentage. The caret.
Are we going
Why?
through
Why?
every
What is the caret about?
punctuation on the
Bobby, I
keyboard?
just did this. And you
I'm
got
just
snippets from
stopping.
me. Don't
Look,
do it
I'm just
again.
I'm
All right,
stopping
all right.
at the ones
Yeah,
that
yeah,
don't
yeah.
make sense.
Yeah, I got you. Okay.
Why do we need the caret? This, by the way, the caret is the one above the 6. It's an arrow that points up, and I know you can use it for some emojis.
Yeah, I use
All right,
it.
but
I
what
use it
what was it for?
to reiterate the
What was it
poster
for?
above me?
Or
They
to
used
do
it
superscript.
for superscript, right?
Mhm.
But we can do superscript now. You right click it or whatever. You do the. I know how to do that. I've done it before. You don't need a caret. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, yeah. Why do they call it a carrot anyway? That's not
I
what
don't.
a carrot
'Cause it looks
looks
like a carrot. It looks like a carrot.
No, it doesn't.
It looks like an upside down carrot that you cut the green part off of.
So nothing like a carrot.
Well, I mean, I would have called it maybe like a mountain.
I would
Yeah.
call it a baby V.
Ooh, an upside down baby V.
Yeah, because there's left and right carrots. They're all baby V's going in different
I
ways.
think if you called it an upside down baby V, no one would like you though.
Yeah.
Well,
Just
smiled
warning
about
you.
it.
Just
All right, we got
warning.
the ampersand, which we've talked about.
Yeah, let's skip the episode.
All right, and then parentheses are great. Okay, whatever, that's good. Now the M dash, I don't get the M dash. If you really want to have a dash that's that long, just do 2 dashes. And I know that's an underscore under the dash. And you don't know. You know how you know that the M dash is useless is there's not even a key for it on the keyboard.
I'm not listening to you anymore. I'm looking up why carrots are called carrots.
Bobby, are you with me?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know there was an M dash. What is it? An M dash is just a long dash?
I think so.
Literally, that's
middle
how you
dash?
type it in a word processor. You just do 2 dashes.
That's actually
I know,
the cool way to
but-
use semicolons now. People use a dash, 2 dashes. I use it.
I've
in
always
work
done that.
emails
I did
all
that
the
in
time.
high school and college, and my teachers always told me I was a bad writer, but I should have just told them right back that I was on the cutting edge of the future.
Yeah.
All right,
It's a
so here's where
proofread
we're getting
mark.
to the look. We're getting to where I wanted to be, which is
Okay.
we got these weird little brackets, the curly bracket and the angle bracket.
Right? Square brackets, yeah.
I guess people use those for math, right? I don't know anything about math,
Yeah.
so I will let those stay just because I'm too ignorant.
Sure.
What is a pipe for?
Also used in programming.
Pipe.
Pipe is the
No, I'm not
vertical
talking about.
line.
Wait, hold on, Bob. Programming is like. I'm gonna explain why, but programming doesn't count.
No, I know
If
it
you
doesn't.
use
I'm
it
just
in
being
math-
difficult. You don't have to. Okay, you can explain it for everybody else, but go ahead.
If you use it in math, do you use the pipe in math?
Sort of.
Do you need it? Could you live without it? Could you make every mathematical expression without a pipe? I'm just asking.
Yes. Yes.
So we get rid of the pipe. I don't want the pipe anymore. All right.
420 plays it.
But the backslash, I guess, is okay. Because you got to have a backslash. You have a force.
No,
You're slowing down. Keep your
After you
momentum.
just went
Let's go.
through this, like-
If you didn't have a backslash, then old
Hold
people
on.
wouldn't sound confused when they're talking about the internet.
Oh, whatever. Like, if you're gonna cut down all these other ones, the backslash is just as useless.
www.google /. Come on.
That key is useless.
It slashes forward, people. It's the
Unless
direction
you're
of the
inside your
slash.
operating system, I guess.
Backslash, forward slash. That probably looks backwards on the camera, huh? Anyway,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
All right.
EJ is so
Apostrophe is
canceled.
fine.
So says Cadme.
Quotation mark is fine. Okay, here's the problem. I'm
All right.
sorry, Cadme.
Finally, we are to
Oh,
the
here's where we
semicolon.
get to the semicolon. Look, I went
right.
all the way around. We took a tour of the keyboard. When's the last time you did this? We're having fun.
That's good.
Before
That's
you
what,
go on.
See, that's how you should have prefaced this. Let's take a tour of the keyboard.
I thought you'd pick up on that.
The Wikipedia doesn't say why it's called a carrot. It's a proofreading mark, though. Like when you remember when you put
Oh,
the
yeah.
quotation.
You know, it
mark
probably
inside
goes
it.
back to the. These things usually go back to the days of like the metal typers, the typists, when they would have like a printing press. Probably somebody dropped the thing and it landed in a carrot, and they were like, "Henceforth, this shall be known as the carrot. It shall be hilarious for the ages to come."
Yeah, the guy. They
And the
just,
joke's
term
been
it
totally
was just
lost.
a really bad inside joke. Like, hey, hand
Yeah.
me the carrot. Remember when
Guess-
we
guess
dropped
what
it in a
language it
carrot?
is. It's Latin, and it means it lacks.
It lacks. Oh, because of a
It
proof.
lacks.
It's because it's a proofreading mark.
Yeah,
And it's
so
to
you put the
indicate
carrot
that you
in there.
forgot to put like a letter or something in there.
Mm-hmm. It's
See, now that just annoys me.
graphene,
Why on a keyboard would you need a proofreading mark? Because
these keyboards come from typewriters, I guess.
These
right, but like
keyboards.
if you have the keyboard in your hands,
up.
like just fix it for the person, right? Don't give them like little notes.
But the
Tired of
semicolon, that's a real problem.
All right, the semicolon is no, yeah, we got there. Thanks. Don't even blame me for backtracking. That was a Ryan maneuver.
That was just a cutting off that tie and tying
It does
up
lack
and
though.
then
I
presenting it
agree.
to everyone about what was going on.
Yeah, Ryan's doing his job.
It does lack.
So why
It
don't you start
lacks.
doing yours?
The carrot lacks
Damn,
purpose in its miserable life. Okay, semicolon. Here's the thing about the semicolon.
Miserable life.
It's the worst. I'm talking about the carrot, not you, Ryan.
I know.
Do you identify that
We
strongly
are
with the
so
carrot?
close to the semicolon.
Keep on talking. You are so easily sidetracked.
I know. So why? Okay, semicolons are bad. Listen. Listen. What? Look, they come from a time when people were writing these ridiculous sentences.
Mm-hmm.
Why do we don't need this anymore? Have you, like, in your entire life, have you ever like felt the need to use a semicolon?
Yeah.
If you're using semicolons when you're writing, you're a bad writer. I'm gonna say it.
Whoa.
It's bad writing.
He's putting
like,
his-
simplify your crap. You don't need a semicolon.
I do
If your
always-
sentence has a semicolon in it, it's too complicated.
I do always feel like like when I realize a semicolon is supposed to be used now, I'm like, oh, whoa, oh, I think this is, and then I'm not really sure if even when I use it, like, did I do
And by that
right?
point, you start to realize that your sentence is just too complicated.
That's a
No,
very
see, everyone's
good point.
calling me a 15-year-old, and no, I'm not being a 15-year-old. I'm serious. Like, if your sentence is so complicated that it needs, and I know this because I read a lot of 19th century crap. All right, I read a lot of first of all, like my favorite books are all Victorian, and they just love the heck out of the semicolon. All right, and then I read all this Marxist and Kropotkin and all this stuff. They're all using semicolons, and it's just an indication that your sentence is too freaking complicated. And you need to.
So I'm
Calm it
gonna
down.
back you up here. Mitsuki Kazan says, as an example of a semicolon use, I ate beans, rice, and meat. Semicolon. I also drink coffee. Maybe that's true.
Period. Why don't you just use a period?
But why don't those are two separate sentences? Why don't you
Or
just
use
Just make it as two
dash.
sentences.
Dashes
It's
are
not going to
cooler.
hurt. It's not
Or
going
a
to hurt
dash.
anybody, and it might help.
Yeah, Ryan
You know
also
what I'm saying?
also makes a good point that you could just
What?
use a dash also, and it would be
Okay,
easier
I'm
to
fine
see.
with dashes.
Then you're
Dashes
then you're
don't
fine with
confuse the shit out of
semicolons.
everybody.
Semicolons are the same.
But I
Dashes are
think
modern
that's
semicolons.
I think you're sure. Yeah, that's definitely to EJ's point though, is that semicolons.
So yeah, my point, I was originally going to call my segment, "The semicolon should be retired." It's time to retire the semicolon.
yeah.
And I
Okay,
think
so-
that's
so
true. It might have had its place because back then in back in the Victorian times, that's when people thought good writing was like, how complicated can we make this sentence? That was considered an achievement. Like, let's just make this. And I I like it and I hate it at the same time. I like to read it for pleasure, because it's almost like a word, like a mind teaser, you know? Like when I'm reading Victorian literature, I love reading it because it's kind of interesting. It's like,
Right.
oh, this language is so flowery and like way too, embroidered, right? So it's kind of interesting and fun to go back to the old literature and read it. But as far as modern writing goes, no one should be writing like this. No one should be writing with a semicolon now, unless you're doing it for funsies. That's fine. I mean, if it's like your hobby and you're doing it for fun, but if you're writing things that people need to read to understand and comprehend, you should not be writing with semicolons, and you should not be writing with most of this crap.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think technical writers are using those.
Technical writers.
Nickel writers. Oh,
What
it's
that
like
is?
like I thought you were talking
People-
about penny dreadfuls. I was
No,
like-
technical writers are people who write like manuals and stuff like that.
Yeah, no, it's okay. I just thought you said nickel writers, and I was like confused. Yeah, okay. I mean, I'm not a technical writer, but if I was reading some IKEA instructions they don't have words. Okay, worst example. But if I was reading like assembly instructions for something and they had a bunch of semicolons in it, I would be pissed. I'd be like, who wrote this crap? Garbage.
Would you actually be mad about that?
I would be, no, like, it's an indication that I would be mad because it's an indication that they're writing things in Their sentences are too complicated, and they need to break it down. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes, but it's just so small potatoes.
What? Well, no. I mean, it's a symptom of a larger problem. The semicolon is a symptom that you need to calm your shit down and simplify your language so that people can understand it easily.
Also, let's like seriously, what purpose does the semicolon actually serve other than to cause you stress while you're trying to figure out what punctuation you're supposed to use?
Exactly, and especially it makes kids hate English. Like I will bet good money that there's at least one child per generation who would have been a great writer. And they're in their English classes when they're a kid, and the teacher starts talking about the semicolon, and they're just like, "Fuck this shit."
And that's a child that we have failed.
It's frustrating. It is frustrating.
Stuff. I think semicolons
Ryan's
are
disavowing
good, and
himself
I think
of
that
all
child
responsibility.
failed himself.
So let's hear. Okay, so I'll shut up now, Ryan. Mount your defense of the semicolon. What
Well, I think it's
what defense do you
pretty
have
much
for it?
already gone. Like, people don't use them. They're for people that are trying to sound like of a certain style and trying to evoke like what you read, and they're just clause enders. People use them when they're trying to keep a sentence open, I think. So if I use a semicolon, I know it could be two separate sentences, but it's supposed to feel kind of run on because it's all coming together as like a stream of consciousness. And I think that's a very effective use for it. But otherwise,
We're starting a war, a feud in the chat room.
no, we're
Well, we had. Okay, I saw this one comment, and I want to address it. Dorian Sapiens. I don't hate you for saying this, but it triggered me a little bit, and I mean that sincerely. Like, my blood pressure is rising because it says this is massively anti-intellectual. It's not anti-intellectual. I said already that if you want to go back and if you're studying Victorian literature, then yes, the semicolon needs to be introduced. If you're talking about stuff from the past, it makes sense. But it's bad. Like, in terms of written content, it's just a bad way to communicate information to people. Just break it. Like, it's just confusing. I don't think that's anti-intellectual. I think that's elitist for you to say that it's anti-intellectual, for me to say that semicolons are confusing and like they just lead to complicated long sentences that are unnecessary.
I don't think it's anti-intellectual, nor is that elitist. I think people are just saying things. But I do think people don't actually use semicolons like you think they use them. They're not used to obfuscate. They're used to change the meaning of the sentence.
So everybody listening right now on the podcast, in the chat room right now, genuine challenge. This is not a rhetorical challenge. I'm not like saying that you're all dumb and this
What's
challenge is not meant to actually be. But
Yeah,
genuine challenge is send us an example, your best example of semicolon use that is necessary and
vital
and useful and vital.
And no. I'm going to change the challenge if you don't mind, Bobby. I would like to submit this change. It improves the sentence. It makes it a better communication.
That's a good, yes.
It improves the communication.
Well,
Show me
not
the use
fair,
of a
though.
semicolon where it improves the communication.
Because, like I said, the way that I use it and some people use it is not going to necessarily improve it. It's going to convey a different meaning. Like, I'm using it like to show that I'm doing a run-on. It's intentionally doing something different.
Cadme says no punctuation is vital, and I disagree with that. Punctuation is
I'm not.
crucial.
I'm not James Joyce over here. I can't do that.
Okay.
I like periods and commas and question marks and exclamation points and question marks. I should have done. I ruined the joke.
But no. I'll say it doesn't have to be vital. Well, improving the sentence
How
is
people
subjective,
effectively use it.
You give us an example of a semicolon in use and explain why it improves the sentence in some way, whether that be technically or in clarity or in some sort of communication of the message or whatever. And we will read your arguments on next episode, and we will see if you change. I will keep an open mind.
Yeah, I'm. If somebody changes my mind, I'm just telling you. In my life of reading, and I read a lot of old literature that uses the semicolon a lot. It's never in my experience. It's always just muddied the waters. And if you could point out that I'm wrong, I will change my mind. I'm not unreasonable.
I don't really ever see it in modern literature. That's my point.
Yeah.
So,
and if you're
get it off my keyboard.
People who are throwing in examples in the chat room right now, seriously, email them to us because I want to give you a chance to actually air that out and explain why it's useful. And I'm going to say one thing. If you use a semicolon in a situation when a period would suffice, you're going to have to explain why the semicolon is
explain
better.
to me why it's better than 2 sentences, because I'm already seeing this one example, and it looks to me like you could make that 2 sentences, and it's not going to hurt anybody.
I think Sam Randolph has a good example, and I'm going to use it right now, verbally.
Okay, go for it.
Martin made sure to seal the letter tightly, semicolon. He wanted to make sure the contents wouldn't fall out. So if you speak that out loud, you would say it like so. Martin makes sure to seal the letter tightly. He wanted to make sure the contents wouldn't fall out.
That was a period. That was a period space you just took.
No, I would have taken a more pregnant pause if it was a period. But it doesn't matter, I guess, kind of. But textually, it's doing what I'm talking about. It's supposed to be more terse. Not terse, more tight.
Then we should no, I'm not I don't know. I will take it under consideration since you seem so convinced by this example. To me, it's like, just make it a period. I don't see what the harm is.
Well, because it means something different.
The reason
What is the meaning different?
The reason I'm asking for this for people to email us is because I really want to get on to what Ryan's going to talk about, but I do want to continue this conversation. If there's
the debate will continue. If there's it's not over yet.
Yeah, if there's good examples and good arguments that are sent to us, I really do want to continue it. So send those to us. Email at jbycshow@gmail.com.
I would never write that down, by the way, Sam. No offense, but that's not anything I would ever write
Most
down.
people
with
wouldn't.
A semicolon. Right. So that's
right.
my point.
Here we go.
Dang it, Bobby.
Nope, I can't even do it
I
right.
love all of you. I apologize if I got excited and emotional.
Everybody, do the robot.
All right. So you wanted to read an email, right, Ryan?
Yes, I'm gonna do that. I'm cheating. As I told Bobby before we started, I'm gonna cheat.
I feel like cheating is okay because, and I didn't even expect this to happen. I feel like we have really aired out this theme so far in this episode.
Hold on. What was the sexual part of semicolons?
I think it got there was a little sexual tension in there, Ryan.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You didn't feel it?
I am going to talk about
there was definitely tension,
of our lives.
and it might have been sexual. Oh,
and that's the cheap caveat there. Period. Boom, boom, done. Whatever.
Oh, periods.
You're going to do the Interrobang.
Periods.
No,
that's not.
That was a,
well, no,
that
it's
was a,
actually it's very
false lead.
sexual.
Yes, it's part of
in the
sexual.
sense that it is related to the reproduction of life.
Yeah. Periods.
Yeah. And now we don't want to talk about it anymore.
I'll take it.
Time. So there was an email that came in, I don't know, 2 weeks ago. We didn't get a chance to read it.
It was a
So
while
I'm going to
ago,
read
yeah.
it now, and we're going to use it as a jumping off point to this, basically talking about whatever stories we want to talk about in a more loosey-goosey way.
You're talking about Time Magazine?
Just listen for
Dear
a second.
JBYC panel, can you share an interesting teenage story about one of your co-hosts to help us get to know you better? From Curious from Caracas.
This is scary.
And so I thought about this idea before realizing I could put this and connect it in, but like I think it's interesting that like lots of people, their glory days, quote unquote, are their high school, maybe college.
Oh yeah.
And it's all kind of like coasting after that.
Mm-hmm.
And like people always talk about like high school stories, college stories, and then like there's fewer and fewer like actually later stories, mostly because we're all doing our own things and whatever. But I think it's interesting to talk about interesting stories. Do you guys have one? Because I didn't think about that bit of it. While you're thinking, I played poker at 1 a.m. on top of a bar rooftop this Saturday. It was pretty good.
I was just learning the rules of poker and how to play poker the last 48 hours, Ryan.
Really?
Next time we come to
you didn't know how to play poker, or you were...
I mean, I didn't know all the suits and stuff. I knew the basics, but I didn't know the hierarchy of the suits and all that.
Is there an
It's much
actual
more simpler than
hierarchy to
people
the
realize.
suits?
Yeah. I have a mnemonic. Would you like me to share it? Or
Is
no?
the
There's not a hierarchy to
spades are the
suits.
highest? I feel like I thought there was a
No.
hierarchy,
There's
but
not
it's
a
true.
hierarchy of the suits.
no.
There's a hierarchy
No.
of hands. Did I say suits?
Right.
Yes.
Ooh,
Did I
here's a
say
good quiz.
suits? What
Let's
the
see if
heck?
let's see if I can get it right.
Sorry.
Okay. Since you
still
seem to know
learning.
it now, I'm going to see if I can get it right. Okay. So, quiz time. Ready? I'm putting myself
What's the first
in the
one?
quiz. Hold on, I'm looking for a stinger.
Oh, you're
And now
good.
for something
Whatever.
completely different.
All right, we're taking a break. All right.
When I was playing poker, it was all windy and crazy, and we were just drinking beers, and everyone was leaving the bars because bars close at 2. And we're just
Yeah.
playing poker on top of the building in the middle of the bar district. It was pretty cool.
Did the cards blow away?
They were. It was not quite that windy, but there were some moments when we were like, okay, put a bottle top on top of a cards. And
Did
you're
you
good.
win?
I got third because I kind of gave up trying when everyone was like, we get to leave pretty soon. I'm like, okay, well, I'm not gonna put in extra effort. I got my money back.
Right.
I
Okay.
made
Okay.
$6.
So
Nice.
I'm gonna start highest, like best hand to lowest.
You're gonna do
okay.
this.
No, we can
All
take
right.
turns if you want.
That's the opposite of
No,
my
no.
mnemonic, so it makes me hate you. But go ahead.
Oh, I'll go in the other direction if you want.
No, it's fine.
Just do it.
I can
Go.
handle it.
All right, I'll start from bottom to top. First one is high card.
Yes.
Then the next one would be a pair.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Now the next one is tricky because I can't remember which one is next. 3 of a kind or 2 pair. I
No.
think it's 3 of a kind.
No, it's 2 pair.
Dang it! Ugh. So it's 2 pair and then 3 of a kind, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yes.
All right, and then that would be next would be full house,
No.
or does 4 of a kind count?
I mean,
Next is
it's-
straight.
Definitely
Straight,
a
really? A
thing,
full
but
house is
straight,
higher
yeah.
than a straight?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
didn't know that. So so it's a straight then a full house?
Yeah. No. Flush.
What the? Okay, I'm done. Just continue on.
Flush, and then it's full house,
Yeah.
and then it's straight flush,
Right.
and then 4 of a kind, and then royal flush.
which
So
is
what's your
just
mnemonic?
basically-
Yeah. What's your mnemonic?
It's 0 is a high card, so 0, 1, 2, 3, right? That's the first part,
0, 1, 2, 3.
and then
Okay.
all right, the next part is I don't know. This is not a
I
great
already
mnemonic,
don't
but
understand
it's
what your mnemonic is.
0, 1, 2, 3 is it's 0 is a high card, 1 is 1 pair, 2 is 2 pair, 3 is 3 of a kind.
Right.
Okay. All right. So then you have, all right, straight flush. All right, straight
Okay.
flush. Just try to remember that. I think it's easy to remember. Straight flush.
Good mnemonic. Just remember.
It's like think about an old Southern guy telling you how to use a toilet. Well, you just straight flush that thing. All right, straight flush.
So 0,
Your
1, 2,
mnemonic
3,
needs your
straight
mnemonic?
flush that
Cool.
thing.
Yeah, straight flush. Okay, and then the last part is the part that's actually kind of more like a real mnemonic. Okay, so it's full house, 4 straight flush, royal flush.
4.
So you think about the show Full House. You think about the show Full House.
Why does your
Which
mnemonic
has-
keep on having sub mnemonics?
It works, doesn't it?
No.
I know all the hierarchy of all the cards.
I mean, okay, yes, it
It's-
did work for you. It broke Bobby.
0, 1, 2, 3, straight flush. And
I just realized that my mnemonic is literally just saying all the different.
Yeah.
Oh god.
It's not a mnemonic at all.
No.
No, but
You just
All the little
you
side
memorized
stories
it
were
is what
things,
you
though.
did. That's called memorization, EJ.
no, because I use it's like a memory palace. Okay, in my head, I think of the Full House, the cast of Full House, and there's I couldn't remember how many. There's 4 guys, right? There's Uncle Jesse, Uncle Joey, Bob Saget, and
Wait, is this? Are you somehow connecting this into your
Christ.
thing? What?
it helps me. It helps
No
me.
wonder you remember. Yeah, you made a whole fucking book about it.
No, the show Full House has.
Yeah,
I don't.
no,
I
got
think
that
there's
far.
actually three guys, but I just pretend that there's 4. I just pretend there's 4 guys,
Okay.
and they're all straight guys. So it's 4 straight. Never mind. It's terrible.
This is
This is terrible. Just forget about it. God, just forget about it. All right.
All right. Oh,
It's awful. It works for me and nobody else.
Yeah, I see. Yeah, you're definitely never gonna forget that.
What is wrong with me today? All right. No, there's 4 straight. There's 4 straight guys
Okay.
in Full House. Full House, 4 straight. Flush, royal flush.
All right, we are done with this.
Why? What?
All right, so
It sounded good in my head. It works in my head. I don't know why it doesn't work.
So when we were growing up,
bring it
EJ's
out of my head.
dad always he was the story I heard was from EJ was that EJ's dad grew up poor in like New Amsterdam or something, right? And
Yeah.
so he grew up like ultra thrifty. I'm going on with telling stories about.
Yeah,
this
we
one.
know. We can understand basic cues.
So we would all growing up, there was all these weird things that we would do that were all a result of him being thrifty, even though he didn't necessarily need to be, but that was wired into EJ's dad's brain. Was that you don't spend money if you don't have to, and the threshold for not having to spend money was like really high for this guy. So like,
Yeah.
so like for example, he had like a wheelbarrow in the backyard. What's with like one handle was like a huge PVC pipe.
It was like
and
a 10-foot long pole for one handle, and the other handle was like a 2x4.
Like
Yeah.
duct taped onto it or something.
yeah.
Yeah, it was just, and like the bottom of it was a metal wheelbarrow, and the bottom rusted out, so he like put plywood in the bottom, and it was just like the worst wheelbarrow.
Yeah.
And the wheel was always flat, the tire was always flat, so just like using this thing, it was like you'd rather just carry the crap by hand.
right.
It was
right.
so awful to use that thing.
And
He had a chainsaw that the housing of it came off, so he took an old New York license plate from the 70s or something, and he like turned it into a housing and like screwed it in with drywall screws with a chainsaw. And then the back of the chainsaw broke off, or like the handle, so he used like it was like a Minecraft chainsaw. Like he took like a piece of lumber and just like attached it to the back of the chainsaw as this like really crude handle.
right.
For a very dangerous tool, by the way.
Right, right. So the another side effect of him being so but like a really fun side effect for us when we were kids of him being so like
50.
yeah, thrifty and just like jury rigging things together was that we got away with doing weird things because all in the like all you had to do to sell it to him was like, well, we could do this thing and we don't have to do like, let me give you the example that I'm thinking of, which is all the time I would go over to EJ's house and be like, hey, you want to come out and hang out and we can play or do something together? We were kids, so you'd say, can you come out and play? And it was always like, well, he's got to do his chores first. So I always got roped into doing chores with
Oh yeah.
with EJ. So one time we were over there and he had to mow the lawn, and
That was the worst chore because we had this big horrible lawn in a swamp.
yeah, it was
You know what I'm saying?
yeah, it was a huge lawn, and this was back when I couldn't actually help as much with that kind of thing, like for a longer period of time because I'm allergic to cut grass. But
Yeah.
so we were trying to me and EJ are putting our heads together. We're like, how are we going to get out of this? We really want to go up. We really want to ride. He had a go-kart, not a go-kart at all.
It was a golf cart.
A golf cart.
It was a golf cart my grandpa had for some reason, and it was like this weird 3-wheeled golf cart that was just like,
yeah,
it was really old and crappy.
yeah, like 3 wheels by design, guys. Like
It was so bizarre. It was the weirdest thing. I've never seen a golf cart like it before since. And it looked like it was made by hand. It was like a weird, like it was all blocky and stuff. It was such a strange thing.
Yeah, we
It was
used
a
to
contraption.
we used to drive it up to the nearest grocery store, which had the arcade next to it, and
Yeah.
we would ride it
Yeah.
up there down the highway. But anyway, so we were like, we want to go up to the arcade, and on the golf cart, what are we gonna do? We got to get the lawn mowed. It's gonna take forever. So EJ came up with his idea. He was like, if only it wasn't the idea. It was like, if only we had a riding lawnmower, this would go a lot faster.
Yeah.
And so I think your dad might have come up with the idea actually.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he
Which
was
was-
a pretty good backyard.
Yeah. So he was like, "Oh, we don't have a riding lawnmower," but I can't do your dad voice. But he was like, but I got an idea. So EJ, you drive the lawnmower around, or you drive the golf cart around, and Bobby, you sit on the back of the golf cart and you hold the lawnmower handle.
Yeah,
and
it's
you
a perfect plan.
Yeah, and you
as
ride
long
around
as
the
Bobby
lawn.
doesn't fall off the golf cart and under the lawnmower, it's a perfect.
Right. Which, spoiler alert, that didn't happen, fortunately. No. But yeah, so that's one of my fondest memories from our childhood is riding around.
That was pretty cool.
Riding around your
You guys
yard.
would come over to my house and play video games, and basically my dad became this like architect of terror. Where
Oh
you
my
guys,
God.
because whoever lost would have to go down and like get drinks. Or
Oh yeah, that was a
snacks for the
rule
group.
that we had. We would play like Halo or Perfect Dark or Smash Brothers or something.
GoldenEye and
Or
stuff,
even
yeah.
like role playing games. We would play like Shadowrun
Yeah.
or something. Where there are no winners. It's a game of the imagination.
But one of us,
But you-
our internal rule was that whoever lost or was in a, like whatever we defined losing as, would have to go down and get like snacks and drinks. You're right.
Yeah.
And he found the weakest, in his opinion, I suppose, weak link in Tom, because Tom never talked back to him about it. Tom was another friend of ours, and basically he got a great joy, I think, in just haranguing whoever came down, and Tom was the one that didn't give him any back clips, so he really liked doing that.
Yeah. Because you would go downstairs and he'd be like, Ryan's dad would be like, so you lost again, huh? And
You lost.
Yeah.
So I'll never forget that.
And he would tell, Ryan's dad was also like,
insult to injury.
Ryan's dad was the king of dad jokes before like dad jokes had a name, like before we knew what to call them.
See, I never really got any of those, because like we as a family aren't super close.
I guess he saved it for when people were going through the walk of shame to get the snacks, and Ryan was really good at video games, has always been, so he never had to make the walk.
Yeah.
And it was always the friends, and yeah. I'm realizing now that your dad's shaped much of our childhood.
For better or worse.
Yeah.
For better or worse.
Another good thing is we filmed a movie about Abraham Lincoln called The Last Days of Abraham Lincoln in high school. And
That was actually college.
Was it college?
It was very early in college, yeah.
Yeah, it was like our
I
first
feel
year.
like that was
year.
high school.
It was the summer between freshman and sophomore year of college. Yeah.
It feels like
Abraham
it was high
Lincoln.
school to me too, but when I think about it, I always remember, oh yeah, it was college. But I think it's because because it was after that first year of college. I think we went back home to stay.
We were actually in a dorm, so we went home. Yeah.
Yeah, we went back home, and it was like we were retreating back to our childhood home and in our
roots.
heads. Yeah.
Yeah, but we made a feature film about Abraham Lincoln and how he fought the Nazis and had a flamethrower duel with Andrew Jackson, portrayed by Ryan here.
Yeah.
Bobby played Orville Redenbacher, who was Abraham Lincoln's second in command.
And
Trusted
kind of
sidekick.
like bodyguard also. Trusted sidekick is probably a better way to put it. Yeah.
Nick Fury analog.
Well,
it was
I
just a
think
total
we
ripoff
always
of
say
Nick
that Orville Redenbacher's character was a mesh of
Nick Fury and my dad.
EJ's dad and Nick Fury. Yeah, but not just
Yeah.
It was
any
the
Nick
most
Fury
real
though.
of documentaries.
Keep in mind, it's
It's
not
the
just any Nick
specific-
Fury. It's specifically the David Hasselhoff portrayal of Nick Fury.
Yeah,
Yeah, in like the '80s movie or whatever.
Yeah.
those were fun times. Was it? Alex the Ancom Squirrel asked if it was a documentary. It was. It was not a documentary.
No, I was joking when I said it was real.
Lord Byron and
Percy Shelley.
and John Shelley.
No, John
Percy
Keats.
Shelley. Yeah, John.
No. It
No, it
was
was Percy Shelley. It was Percy
Lord
Shelley.
Byron
John
and
Keats was from our high school filming.
Oh yeah, that
days.
was another short film we made. And if
Met
Jonathan
with
Kramer's in the
John
chat
Keats.
room, he knows what we're talking about.
Met with
played John
Emperor
Keats Jr.
Palpatine.
Yeah, you were Jefferson Davis, the president of the Confederacy, but you
Oh
were
yeah.
you were
When
like
a
Palpatine.
Get up.
Yeah. And I played Robert E. Lee, and I was like, I betrayed you.
Yes, Abraham Lincoln
played an
was
assassin.
basically like a Nazi hunter.
Yeah.
But yeah, Lord Byron and Percy Shelley were a spy, a duo of, they were spies that were out to, they had to, what was it? They had to steal the Zimmerman note.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Which was a time travel. No, a
What I always-
teleportation device. I don't understand though. Why did I play like almost all the villains except for Ryan was the only other villain, but I played Jefferson Davis. No, I played Robert E. Lee and
I
John
feel
Wilkes
like you
Booth
probably
and
wanted to play those characters, but maybe not.
I mean, I'm
not
just. I
saying
mean, I
anything
guess
about
I'm
your
curious.
character,
Why
I'm
would
just
I have
saying
wanted
that
to?
Because
also
they
played,
probably had the best lines.
Kaiser Wilhelm. We didn't really want to mess with the Nazi stuff, like really. So the Nazis were just the World War I Germans in our movie.
Yeah, we just did. Yeah, we
Kaiser
just did,
Wilhelm
yeah.
and the Red Baron were the Nazis.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the Red Baron was in it. I forgot about that too.
Yeah.
What amazes me is that we showed this movie to friends of ours that were like cheerleaders and stuff, and I'm like, I wish I still had that confidence in our trash stuff.
Yeah,
that we
really.
do.
Yeah, these were like
I know.
the social elites of our high school.
And they
Yeah,
appeared to
right.
like it.
Our tiny high school in
I think
In
they were being
suburban
polite.
South
We actually
Carolina.
had a pretty big high school, dude.
Yeah, we had a pretty.
Well.
I don't know. I feel like it
I
was
think
big.
Bobby was just Bobby. Did you just say you think they were being polite,
Yeah, our high school friends.
Oh,
like
100%.
our peers?
Yeah.
That's really funny and true. Yeah, they were polite. We went to a polite high school.
Yeah.
We were fortunate in that sense.
Yeah.
So yeah,
We would also just drive around, like I said in chat earlier, with like people in our trunk, and that seems like a terrible idea, but we would do that.
yeah. We kidnapped Tom. We literally
did kidnap a
we
friend.
kidnapped Tom. But I do want to address in the chat. Somebody said, was this before the vampire killer, Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter or whatever?
Yeah, for
it
sure.
was. It was before the Spielberg Abraham Lincoln movie. It was before the vampire.
book.
It was also before Pride and Prejudice and Vampires. It was like way back.
Zombies.
And then all that stuff came out after, and it made us realize we had a great idea. We just did a really shitty job of executing it.
I've thought a lot
I
about
think.
this in the past, and I've said it before to you guys, but I really truly think that our filmmaking careers were just like were built and perfect for the YouTube era. We were just a few
Yeah.
years too early,
I agree.
3 to 5 years too early.
Our timing was always way off.
Circa 03, 04, maybe 05, we were actually doing weekly movies where, like, if we didn't put a movie up, where were we putting them up? Wherever we were
Just on my
putting them up.
website, because there was
Yeah,
no
which
way
is
to
why
put it
they're
on
all in
website.
like 320p or something like that.
Yeah.
480. Yeah.
You had the choice to download between QuickTime and Windows Media.
Yeah.
But we would give you a free pizza if we didn't put a movie up in time.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
It
had
was
to
a
market
movie
it.
a week
Yeah, at
or the
least once.
pizza's free.
Yeah, we had to market that whole thing to the world, basically, our weekly videos, short videos, in a time before YouTube, which was really hard. And
Yeah.
I think it was EJ's marketing idea was the movie a week or the pizza's free. And it was
We were basically like bribing people to watch our videos. We were like,
Yeah.
if we don't have a video at midnight on Sunday,
And
we'll
So we had
deliver
like
you
the
a pizza.
dorm we lived in, and that was a good crew. And then we had like the people I knew on my my online community, which you guys tried to secretly get into one time when I
another
was on
story
vacation.
altogether, yeah.
And you're weirdos.
we have a lot
And
of
I mean, it was a
they
big
became, like-
community, though.
Yeah. That
So we
died
did
like
it.
5 years ago, 6 years ago. Rum and
R.I.P.
monkey.
F to pay respects for Ryan's weird cult.
We have what a cult.
I know. I just wanted to
Forum.
get a rise out of you.
right.
Just joshing you.
Like I keep saying, I still post on forums because I'm an ancient relic.
Yeah.
Oh,
Cadmy
that's a
said-
good idea. Actually, Cadmy said we should reenact that promise every week or the pizza's free with JBYC, which might actually get us another subscriber. We got 2 more subscribers last week. I don't know if you noticed, Bob. We got 2 more subscribers last week, but they both unsubscribed like promptly. It was like 309 for over a week, and then it was like 310,
They like
Oh,
had a
really?
second
311,
thought.
and I
They're
was
like-
getting excited.
They're like, oh, this is pretty good. Let me click the subscribe button, and then they
We
watched
were
another
one away
video.
from 311.
And then it was like, yeah. And then so I was starting to get excited. I was like, oh, finally, we're going to get more subscribers. And then like a few hours later, it was like 310, 39. I was like, oh,
I like to imagine.
that was short-lived.
I like to imagine that EJ has like a big, like screen with the ticker in his
yeah,
apartment
yeah.
somewhere.
My subscriber ticker.
Yeah.
The
Analog,
JBYC
though, so, like,
subscriber
flips.
ticker.
And like
Yeah.
one day,
No,
he's-
it's like tape. It's a ticker tape. It actually comes out on a ticker tape.
yeah, like one day he's sitting
But
there
it doesn't
eating his
chick very much.
eating his noodles and watching whatever people watch, And then like he's just eating it.
Was that a Vietnam joke?
No, I don't know what people watch. So I was trying to think of a pop culture reference, but I couldn't think of one.
Game of
Thrones.
Good job.
So and then he's eating, and then he hears, and then the ticker comes out a little bit long, and he's like freezes, and then drops his bowl, and rushes over, and it comes out again. But then does it suck it back up? Is that what happens? Whenever someone unsubscribes?
No, it doesn't. I don't think that's how the stock tickers worked, Bobby. I don't think it sucked it up.
Mm-mm.
It's like
You weren't quick
the
enough.
stock sucker. That's how you buy and sell. Is like you got to grab it quick.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't know.
Like a
Anyway,
hungry
That's
hippos.
why those people were yelling and running around all the time.
they were so anxious.
They
All
still
right, but
yell
yeah.
and run around a
So
lot.
all this in a roundabout way to guilt you into telling your friends about us.
Yeah, absolutely. Here's
We
a
are
good time
not
for
doing the
Please.
pizza thing.
Yeah, here's a good time
Share-
for that.
Oh, that's a
It's
good
it's near the end of the show, and you know what? That's good parting thought at the end of the show is that if you like the show, if you like what we're
Did the
doing
mind
here,
explode
if you're
motion.
enjoying it,
If you like the show,
tell one friend, tell two friends, and then those
Big
two
if.
friends tell two more friends, and then those two
but
friends.
only tell your friends who you feel are pretty loyal. You know, the kind of people that will stick around and not abandon
Yeah,
a YouTube channel
yeah. And pretty soon,
almost immediately.
pretty soon, we might be offering a pizza to anyone who catches us on
Or at least tell your friends to
That's how we
subscribe. and then
can get a
forget
bunch of
about it.
subscribers by like vaguely hinting at things that we'll never deliver on.
Right.
We'll never do that.
Yeah. But thank you
might
guys
be
for
if you
listening
feel
to the show. This turned out to be actually way better an episode than I ever thought it was going to be.
Which is sad.
And something we've been saying every week.
Right. I think it's a good thing to always be surprising yourself, Ryan. You're like that's a goal to achieve, right?
ABSY, Ryan.
Always be surprising yourself. So as you know, this week's theme was Punctuation Gone Sexual. If you want to vote on what the show's future themes are going to be, you should head on over to our Discord server where we'll have a poll up. Also on Twitter at JBYC Show. That's where I put the polls for that. It's a straw poll. Next week's theme has already been decided. It's by the community, and it's going to be, are you guys ready? Get ready for more stories, because the next week's theme is going to be road trips. So I'm actually looking forward to that. So send us your, if you have any news stories or topics or prompts or even questions, that's what you should do. Ask us questions about stories, like things like that. Like this last question was really good. So that could help jog our memories and stories that we're going to tell, because we have some road trip stories. If you want to help us after the show, those people listening live, we don't just come up with the potential themes ourselves. How do we do it?
You decide.
That's right, you decide. So if you want to help us do that, show up live, because the chat room helps us figure out what those polls are going to look like. You can find our email and Twitter at jbyc.net, which is watch us live on YouTube at youtube.com/JBYC show. Every Monday night at 9 p.m. Eastern is when the show is. Or you can listen to the podcast wherever you get your podcasts. From me, from Ryan, and from The Edge, thank you guys for listening, and if you're listening live, stick around for the after party. Say goodbye.
Interrobang.
Yeah, we never talked about the Interrobang. It seems like the obvious choice, right?
I did in my opening spiel. I just immediately dunked on it.
Oh,
I'm
I
always
think I
looking at you
overmodulated.
guys. I'm never looking at anything else, mostly.
Yeah, I basically just look at y'all in the chat.
Mhm.
I don't know if we're out yet. Are we out?
We're
knows?
what? Are we out? What does that mean?
Yeah. I mean, are we
Done.
done? Can
We're
we
done with
talk?
the show. It's after party time.
Oh,
I
you're
just
still playing
got
music,
into the
so I
habit
didn't
of
know.
talking over the outro. 'cause
I know,
it
I
was
was gonna-
Whatever.
I was gonna let the outro music go this time.
We can't.
I don't know
hear
if that makes it harder for Bobby to edit or something.
No, I just cut it off.
It cuts out, so I never hear it really.
So, how
Yeah,
y'all
okay.
feeling?
I've had a fun time.
How y'all doing?
Polls. There's Cadme again. Polls. Polls.
Pole position.
Thanks, Cadme.
I don't know how to say hello in any language except for a few. How do you say it in Polish, though? Ni hao is Chinese. Is this a hello quiz?
You're the, I yes.
How many languages can you say hello in?
Adios. No. Damn it. I failed in one.
And I've heard this before. In Polish, you say hello as. Oh, I'm gonna play the thing because I don't want to mispronounce it. Dzień dobry. Dzień dobry.
I've never
Dzień
heard that one.
dobry. It's Polish. Dzień dobry.
Aloha. Hello. Mushi mushi.
Push the button on the wrong one.
I like how you said mushy mushy like you were a real southerner. You were like
No,
mushy
it's
mushy.
just,
Moshi,
I was,
moshi.
I was already
Moshi,
laughing
moshi.
when I started saying it because it's a joke because it's not really saying hello. It's like I'm answering the phone.
What is it? What does it actually mean?
It's a word that you say that fox spirits can't pronounce, and it's to prove that a fox spirit's not tricking you. That's what a Japanese person told me.
I would
Now,
mostly believe that, but I'm gonna look it up anyway.
I'm gonna look it up now because that Japanese person might have been a fox spirit because he was a very trickstery fellow. He liked to play pranks on people in my Vietnamese class about 4 years ago.
Good day.
So now I'm looking it up to see if I just got bad information from Yoshi.
Matty Smith, if he's still in the chat room, that's what he says. That's how he says hello. Good day. That's a joke. 'Cause
It's
he's
a humble
Australian.
form of to say. In the Edo period, it was used in normal conversation when speaking to someone of higher status.
Mushy mushy.
Technically, when you say mushi mushi, you're politely saying, I'm going to talk twice. But it feels more like, hey, dude.
It
Because
feels more like,
Japanese,
hey,
it's all
do.
about weird, like, hierarchies.
I don't
They're
know.
not weird hierarchies. It's just a pain in the ass.
No, apparently this is true. Wait, hold on.
Wait,
Are these all fake things? We've got the moshi moshi vocab. Why? There's 3 explanations.
In One
don't have-
Piece, there's den den.
They don't
moshi
say
moshis,
this is the worst
which are
article ever.
snails that are phones.
This article gives you 3 folk etymology things of like why people say moshi moshi, but then they never tell you which one's the right one.
There's a
You
non
decide.
I guess nobody knows.
The one I'm reading is very, very long and has all sorts of different usages, but I haven't seen. I'll just search fox. Foxes can't pronounce moshi moshi.
You know, it's kind of funny because Japan used to be the country in Asia that I knew the most about.
That's pretty.
And I knew
normal.
almost nothing about the rest, right? Before I moved to Asia. And now it's probably the country that I know the least about. Just because I've been living in Vietnam and I've traveled around Southeast Asia and I know a lot more about Korea now and a little bit more about China. But I basically have learned nothing about Japan
It is a possible
for
explanation.
the last 5 years.
You were not lied to. But it's mythical. It's
not proven, I guess.
yes.
Well, that would
Just
be true.
like-
I mean, because fox spirits don't exist, so
Well, yeah, but
there's
like
no way you
there-
can
it's a what is it called? Animism, where there's spirits and everything kind of culture.
Yeah.
So then you get
Yeah.
used to like doing that kind of shit.
Right. I like
Just
that
like-
idea, though. I like the
Oh,
idea
yeah.
that there's these trickstery spirits and they might be playing a trick with you on the phone, so you test people first. I like that. I think it's a good idea.
That's what
I don't
Zeus did, right? Or some.
When he was talking on the phone,
When you turn into a swan and fuck someone, no.
he would say, "My name is Nobody."
Yeah, he was tricking you, Ryan. He was like, "Ha ha, tricked you."
Hey girl, I heard you like
swan.
swans.
No, the worst was was what I was just talking about with the Nobody thing. That's the worst. That's the worst joke in history.
What?
I don't know the joke.
When Odysseus stabbed the Cyclops in the eye,
Mhm.
and the Cyclops is like, "Who are you? What is your name? You stabbed out my eye." And Odysseus was like, "My name's Nobody." So then when Poseidon was like, hey, Cyclops, who stabbed out your eye? And the Cyclops was like, nobody stabbed my eye.
Oh yeah.
And
that's
Poseidon
very
was
much
like,
Greek. Yeah.
And all the Greek people in the amphitheater were like,
this is the highest comedy.
he said nobody.
Such wordplay. Yeah.
And then
the
that
worst.
and the first joke explainer was born because he was like, but it's funny, you see, because
No, what you don't know, Bobby, is that the Chinese had joke explainers like 3,000 years before the Greeks, but nobody ever talks about it.
right, but
I have
we
a book
wiped
covers
that
this kind
away.
of stuff. 1 second. I will be back.
Is there an emergency happening? Is Ryan being swatted? That's not a funny. That's not. That's gonna
What
be
a waste of time to swat one of us. Like,
I can't hear you. Stop talking about me.
you turned into a blur boy.
You got a
Yeah,
haircut.
I
I've had
did
a
see the haircut.
for a while.
I have you.
Zeus grants stupid wishes.
Grant's
It's
wishes.
Stupid wishes.
Yeah, it's just a dumb thing about mythology, about several different mythologies. Like
Grant stupid
Cronus
wishes
likes
is
to
like
eat
the
babies. King Midas
likes
is
to eat babies.
Goldfinger. Orpheus rocks hard.
Huh?
What are you talking about?
I'm reading.
Are these
top
like
chapter
Valentine's
titles.
Day cards?
No, it's just a bunch of dumb, like silly makeup
They're like
things.
the Greek little heart candies.
No, it's a book. You guys know what a book is, right?
Sort of.
Whoa. What's the aggression?
It was an aggression.
Why are you?
I was
What
just-
kind of book is it? It's got a bunch of weird things about Greeks.
Literally a bunch of different mythologies redone in a dumb way. Like
Yeah.
it's a silly kind of retake.
Is it from the producers of John's Bathroom Reader?
No, I have several
like
books
it.
besides those. Okay.
Not
Now I'm
your
gonna
only-
get
you
You
aggressive.
called yourself out on that one.
No, he did. He said it. Like I'm not gonna deny it.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I admire your.
In the book of John's Bathroom Reader, it was predicted that you would deny John's Bathroom Reader 3
dumb.
times.
Yeah.
That was a Bible joke.
Yeah, you went a
What
long
the
way.
hell is
Really?
that?
It's the cover to the book.
Hmm.
The Mayans have the most brutal calendar.
Oh, that's true. Brutal.
We need
The Hindus like to chop
four
dudes up.
things to put on the poll for episode 11 of JBYC. Remember, next week is going to be.
Yeah. Come on, chat. Give us some
Anything
ideas.
Kali
Oh,
can do,
Maddie
Shiva
Smith
can do
has
better.
book. Book is pretty good.
Book.
We could talk about the
Oh, yeah.
character from Firefly. If Bobby's family grows big enough, he might have a little boy named Book one day.
Oh yeah, I name my kids after Firefly characters.
He doubled down. Did you see the tweet that was like, "Oh, I don't." Oh, this is a spoiler warning for Game of Thrones. Are you? Is that? Oh,
How about you
guess
just
I
not
shouldn't
do
talk
it?
oh, it's just so funny. It's not a huge spoiler. Look, if you're worried about Game of Thrones spoilers, I promise, this is a very mild one.
Plug your ears.
But somebody was just like, if you really are worried about it, then pause for 10 seconds. Somebody said, so everyone that named your kids Daenerys, how you feeling about that now? Okay, unpause.
That
Play it.
actually is kind of.
Oh,
a
pausing
spoiler
it-
if You have like half a brain.
Pausing it wouldn't have helped you, actually.
No.
If you're trying to avoid spoilers, pausing it and unpausing
You
it.
probably should have clicked the mute button instead.
Yeah, you shouldn't listen to me ever.
Right
That was
now, they're,
almost as bad
right
as
now they're
my
10 seconds
mnemonic.
behind, going, "You tricked me!"
That games
I am
journalist
the-
guy, like Tim Miller, has a good spoilers policy where he has someone control his social media for him, and he doesn't ever do it at all. Like he has a go through for all his social media.
Yeah.
Wait, really? Like a
It's
lackey?
insane. Well, a friend that is okay taking that control.
Would one of you guys want to do that for me?
I was about
No.
to say, I wish I had a lackey to do my social media.
A lackey too? Yeah.
A lackey too.
I wish I had a lackey too. Just the cloud though. I could do without the little creature inside that throws spiky balls at everybody.
That is part of it. He's the
Oh, it'd be
dude.
cool if I had a lackey too. Actually, the one with the camera. If I had that lackey too, it would make vlogging so easy.
Do you remember that Do you remember
film?
that?
It must be film.
It
The
wasn't.
Lakichu's camera?
It wasn't a
Yeah.
Pikachu game. Was it a Pikachu or a Pokemon game? The one where you had to go around taking pictures.
The photo game.
Pokemon
Yeah.
Snap.
Yeah.
Yep.
It
Oh
was
my
on-
god, it was a film camera for the original one at least.
It was on the Nintendo
That's
64, I
a
think.
lot of film.
It was.
Yeah, Pokemon Snap. We know what you're talking about. What about it?
It popped into my head. That was
just
a pretty
remembered
fun
it?
game, yeah.
Remember that game Pokemon Snap?
Ghost stories as a topic. I don't know. I feel like if we're gonna do road trip, I mean, I guess ghost stories. Let's put it on there. Why not?
What the hell is? There's no connection between ghost stories and road trips.
No, I know.
And
Yeah,
I mean,
I
I
know.
guess
Just the word stories.
I know you could have a ghost story about a road trip, like The Hook. What's
Okay,
The Hook?
My
you don't
only
have to
good ghost
belabor the
story
point.
is
You're
from a
right.
road
There's
trip.
no connection. I was
mean, no,
wrong. Okay, is that
he's
what
right,
you want
like-
to hear?
Bobby, my only
Yeah.
good ghost story is from a road trip, so you are right.
Thank you.
My only good road trip
Was a
is
ghost
from
story
a ghost
all
story.
along?
Yeah,
Ooh.
that was really good comedic timing.
We need
Which
two more.
means it wasn't.
Two
because
more
of the
topics,
delay.
guys. Book and ghost stories. is
The
what we got
audio's
so far.
not delayed.
Yeah.
They really want shoe nudes.
Shoe nudes.
I like
No,
Wow Bob is such a nerd. Can we do that? Wow Bob is such a nerd.
That's not a topic. God.
Somebody make that a topic.
We're not
I
doing
would just
shoe
talk
nudes.
about
We
WoW
just did
Classic.
punctuation gone sexual.
I know, but this one's shoe nudes. It's different.
You are the reason.
Italian
we-
food. Sick.
Topic.
Ovness?
Ovness. I have to know what that is first. Sick.
I'm gonna Google it, and if it's
I'm
something
gonna
I don't
regret
want to
this
Google, I'm gonna be
Google.
upset. What? It's a alien.
I'm putting
Oh.
sick on the list. We need one more. So we've got book, ghost stories, sick.
Ovnis. It's like, is it
Ovni?
Spanish for?
Acromino Ovni?
Butt stuff.
It's Spanish.
I mean, I'm really tempted to put butt stuff on the list.
I would talk about butt stuff. I can come up with something.
Is
I
that,
don't really. I mean, I
It's
like the
right
weird
up our
one, I
alley.
guess.
Yeah.
El término
Why
objeto
is it
volador
ovni
no
instead of UFO?
identificado, más conocido por el acrónimo OVNI. Se refiere a la observación de
I don't
un
like this. I don't like whenever you guys
objeto
do
volador.
readings.
I did an April Fool's video.
You just did a reading, Ryan. You literally just did a reading.
Yeah, but
you
I
hypocrite.
didn't do it. I don't like when you do it in accents. It's just a thing I have. It's like
It's not an
I don't know.
accent. It's foreign language.
Mm,
Yeah.
No has accedido. That's how you say you're not signed in Spanish.
Can I put the F word on our on like a whitelist or something for our auto modding stuff? I'm tired of clicking
You
show. every
probably
time.
can.
you can just
Probably
stop
can't.
clicking it, and I'll click it. Because there's three of
Ooh,
us.
Ryan can be the clicker.
I've been clicking it like a second after you every time.
Oh, you want to know how to say boomerang in Spanish real quick? Anyone?
Sure.
Boomerango.
All right, it's boomerang.
What is
Boomerang de madera.
every language sounds
cuya
better than
forma
ours.
se pareció los objetos. I wish that Javi was awake for this. Javi's a Spanish guy and he loves Spanish, and he speaks it it's very sexy. Objectively, just saying.
I mean,
Javi's an
it's
objectively sexy
objectively a sexy language, sexier than English.
Yeah, that's true.
I want to know. What
Well,
the Omni
unless you're
abbreviation
English,
is.
unless you're from England, then it can be a bit sexy, can't it? Per se. A per se, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I per se, J, K.
Oh, you ruined it for me.
L, M, N, P, Q, R, S, T,
I-
V, W, X, Y,
I lost my erection.
Z, and per se.
Stop saying
Yeah, it's like reverse ASMR.
Somebody out there's eating this
Mitsuki
up right
Kazan
now.
says romance languages are not sexy. Stop saying that. Why do you say that? I mean, they're literally called romance.
Make a
languages.
case. Make a case. You could
That's
say
a
something inflammatory, but you
joke.
got to make a case.
Yeah, they all sound horrible. French, the rolling R is horrible.
I don't know. I wouldn't mind. Never mind.
Stop right there.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm just saying.
oh, you got to that one before me, Ryan.
The shit house. Is that a topic or is that a response
We're
to
full.
somebody?
We're full on topics. We'll take overflow topics.
We have
though.
topics.
Yeah, we have book, ghost stories.
I think any
sick,
language can be
and
sexy.
butt stuff.
I'm not going to language shame
Why
anybody.
do you put
I
butt
speak
stuff
English,
in there?
so
Because it's a wild card.
butt stuff's
I
always
can't
the
argue
wild
with that
card.
genuine response. Sure.
Whiskers Scuttlebum. I agree. German is one of the sexiest languages.
No, German. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought your term just said German is the meanest. And I had a professor, my first German professor named Frau Dissler, and she had like when she spoke German, it was so adorable. And I tell this story a lot, but she was telling us about the word gloves in German, and she was like, the word for gloves in German is Handschuhe, which means shoes for your hands. And it was just like
Yeah.
incredibly adorable. She was doing that the whole time.
Yeah.
Shoes for your hands. It was pretty funny. She thought it was hilarious, and I thought it was hilarious because she thought it was hilarious. Frau Dissler.
No, I
Broke a
agree.
young man's heart.
I think everybody thinks German is such a mean language, and it's all what's that guy's name? That actor, comedian?
Arnold Schwarzenegger?
No, I said
You do have
comedian.
to try a little harder. No, I'm talking to you, Bobby. We can't. What?
He's like
He's German, I'm assuming?
No,
Yeah.
Saturday Night Live.
Actor, comedian.
Oh gosh.
Is he German? Or does it have
no,
anything
but
to do
he
with German?
always did German.
Oh. You're talking about Sprockets by
No.
Mike Myers?
No.
I thought he was going to talk about
Hans
yeah,
and
someone else,
Franz?
No, because that didn't make it sound. That didn't really make it sound mean. I'm talking about
Sprockets was a little bit aggressive, like
It was
Stocking blocking?
aggressive,
Acerbic.
but I'm talking
Stocking
about
blocking.
right.
I'm done.
Now's the time on Sprockets wenn wir dance.
That was such
That
a
needs
good
to be on our next intro, Bob.
skit. Yeah, I
Cut
need
that one out.
Yeah, I'm doing it right now. I marked the audio. I'm glad I was still recording.
Banned books. Sorry, you can put these on as the extra ones.
Yeah.
The extra ideas.
I don't know any band books.
Ryan, is that a monkey that plays the cymbal behind you? What is that?
Oh, is that Stockenblocken?
Yeah, stocking
Is
blocking.
that Stockenblocken? Oh, I see. No
It's
one knows who you're
not
talking about.
9 stocking blocking.
It's just 9 Stockenblocken.
That was actually legitimately very funny.
Yeah. Conan was the best
Old
late night
Conan
show
stuff, yep.
on television. He is who I aspire to be.
Yeah.
He's good.
Conan. Apparently the German dub of this is ironic.
Don't you
Somebody
think?
said that SNL has only been funny for half of the 44 years it's been on, and then, oh wait, Maddie Smith is having a conversation with Maddie Smith, and it's a really interesting conversation.
Wait, what?
I thought that this was like several people having a conversation, and then I realized they were all Maddie Smith, but it's still an interesting conversation. Anyway,
That's called a monologue.
Maddie said, not to belabor the point, but SNL has been going for 44 years now and only been funny for half of that. Not unlike The Simpsons. The German dub of The Simpsons is freaking hilarious, though.
Yeah.
That is ironic. I do think that the digital shorts era of SNL had some really funny stuff in it, though. Like the 2008, 2009. Like the Laser Cats was funny. I will never
Laser
deny
Cats?
it. You never saw Laser Cats? Google it. It's so
Probably
good.
have. I just don't remember what you're talking about.
It's Andy Sandberg, right?
Yeah,
Is
everybody
that the
gives
guy's name?
Andy Samberg a bunch of shit, but his digital short stuff, you're right, that was really
Yeah.
funny.
Okay, I've definitely
The
seen
Laser
that,
Cats
yeah.
was really funny. I thought that was hilarious. And
All the
Red
stuff he
Vines
did
Are
with
Crazy Delicious.
Justin Timberlake.
Yeah.
yeah,
Dick in
some
a
of those
Box.
were
Yeah,
good.
like Dick
Some
in a
of those were good.
Box, and
I wasn't sold
They
on
were called
Dick in the Box.
Lonely Island. Now I remember, yeah.
you
The
didn't
Lonely Island. Actually, did you ever see the Lonely Island? The original before they got on SNL. They had a thing called It was like a spoof of the OC, and it was called The Boo. It was about Malibu. Did you ever see this? It was so funny. Oh my god, it was so funny. All right, so it's called The Boo. I'm not going to spoil it, but I'll give you some tastes of it. So like, it was this legit. They filmed it really straight, like a drama. Like you remember those old school dramas? It was like teenage romance dramas. So they filmed it really straight, but every episode they would kind of like fuck with something, and it would just make it really funny. And it was like, so the best example I can think of is there's this one character it's like this high school girl, and she's like the bad girl, and she's like addicted to drugs and all this kind of stuff. But anyway, for one episode, they just replaced her with a puppet, like a Muppet. For the whole episode, but otherwise it was just legit played straight. Like the script was really dramatic and everyone was like being really dramatic, and like it was weird because your brain would go in and out of realizing it was a puppet.
That's funny.
Because she'd be like doing cocaine and everyone would be like, "You've been having way too much blow lately, Stephanie," or whatever. Like she's having like a meltdown,
Right.
but it's just like green fuzzy Muppet the whole time, and it's like everyone else is a human. And no one ever brings attention.
And you
It's
said,
just,
like you said, it was
brilliant.
played straight the whole time.
Yeah, and you like so straight that you'd forget for like minutes at a time that it was a puppet, and then you just realize it was a puppet. And it would be like hilarious again. It came to you in waves.
I
You know
love
what I
that.
mean?
I love that there was a lot of that in the late 80s and throughout the 90s, like really super experimental comedy stuff.
Yeah.
And I loved all of that. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, come on. They're
Kids in the Hall was
That
full
was
of
a
it.
Kids in the Hall was. Oh, God is dead. He's very small, and we're all back to work on the highways that God built.
Nobody home.
But I mean, all that goes back to Monty Python, though, right? Like in its roots, the very.
I don't know. You could probably go back.
I mean,
to
I'm
the
sure.
back to
I'm
the
sure.
back.
I guess you could go further back, but Monty.
Because I think Monty Python said that they were influenced by like some radio stuff. The what is it
like
called? There's a British
Buster
radio show
Keaton
called
stuff's kind of absurdist.
What'd you say,
Yeah.
Ryan? Who?
Buster
Buster
Keaton.
Keaton.
Oh, yeah.
Also, there were some like actually, if you watch The Honeymooners, that was a really funny show.
I've never actually
In the-
watched that show. No.
It was way ahead of its time, I think. But then the funny thing about The Honeymooners too is that okay, there were only like 15 episodes or something. There was one season, and I can't remember how many episodes there were, but there were not that many episodes of The Honeymooners. But like every episode became a trope. Like every episode became a trope. Like there was one episode where somebody hit their head and lost their memory. There was one episode, you know what I mean? Like every stereotype from a sitcom was in
Oh, wow.
The Honeymooners, which is like the first to do all of it. So when you watch it, it feels unoriginal.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like Gilligan's Island too. Like they're very
Yeah,
like,
right. Yeah.
tropey.
Because it's just the trope establisher, which it doesn't serve it well, you know, in hindsight.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of interesting, but it's a good show, The Honeymooners. I recommend it. It's very funny. Also, Exit 57 was really funny. The State.
They're the state.
If you're looking for stuff to watch, Exit 57 was really good.
Black.
Is that the one that had the honey pie?
I don't remember Exit.
I
Damn
never
kids.
watched the
State
Exit
though
50.
was like
I never
Michael Ian
watched that.
Black, I think.
The State was Michael Ian Black. Exit 57, I think, was Stephen Colbert.
Oh, really?
A
Okay.
long time ago, when he was very, very young. Yeah. Look up Honey Pie if anybody's looking for some absurdist comedy from the 90s. That's a really good one. Honey Pie. Damn kids are gone for the summer. Can't make my honey pie.
Is that what that's from? Because I've heard you say that a lot throughout our lives.
Yeah, me and Grant probably said it a lot.
Yeah.
It's
they'd
definitely
be like-
Granism.
Mom, Dad, the Wilkinsons are having trouble. What kind of trouble? River trouble.
What?
Yeah.
River trouble. Come on.
That's Exit 57.
I think so, yeah. I'm getting it all. Oh, and then Upright Citizens Brigade. I just watched the
Oh,
Little
yeah, for
Donnie.
sure.
Do you remember Little Donnie syndrome?
Yeah.
Content warning on that one, by the way.
Yeah.
That one's gone sexual. But they cut. No, if you look up, because the reason I looked up Little Donnie syndrome was because I am watching Voyager now, and Tuvok's a character, and I never watched Voyager before, but there's this scene where Little Donnie, like, he's like this little boy, and to calm him down, his parents give him a Tuvok action figure.
Yeah.
And he loves it. He's like, Tuvok, ah. But like, you can't find it online. That part of it got completely cut out of the online version. And it was the funniest part. Because whose favorite character is Tuvok? Come on. Nobody. That's the point.
That's not why I got cut.
I like to think that that's it, like a global conspiracy to put down, like, nobody can like Tuvok.
I mean, it's not Tuvok's fault.
No.
The actor of Tuvok is great.
Tuvok.
They just don't give him a lot to do with.
Didn't Tuvok? Wasn't he the one who had the like really intense Pong Far?
No. That was Tuvok. That was the other Vulcan.
Oh.
And he transmitted Ponfar to B'Elanna Torres, the Klingon, and it mixed with her Klingon.
That was a weird,
Hormones,
dumb
and it was-
episode.
I feel like a crazy person.
I like that
sometimes when you guys
episode.
talk about
That
this
was an
stuff. I
awesome
don't remember-
episode.
I'm just like, bleh.
It was fan service. It was like, what would happen if a Klingon got Ponfar? That was the, and I wanted to know, and I found out.
But I never wanted to know because it was always a Vulcan thing. So it never crossed my mind.
Until now, that's called high concept, Bob. Come on.
I mean, I don't know. That'd be like, let's do an episode where we explore what it would be like if a badger went through a caterpillar's metamorphosis.
No, you know what the weirdest
Yeah, that
episode
sounds
of
like a
Voyager
holodeck
was?
episode.
If you want to talk about an episode of Star Trek that makes you completely uncomfortable, it's the one where, what's his name, Tom, tests out the trans warp drive. Did you watch that one, Bob?
It doesn't sound familiar.
It's like,
you have to jog me
okay,
up.
so Tom tests out this thing called the trans warp drive. Spoiler if you don't want to know about one particularly weird episode of Voyager. So Tom tries out this trans warp drive, and it you know, the way it works is like you're going infinity speed, so you're simultaneously in all points in the universe at the same time.
Right.
So he does it, and then he comes back, and he's like, I don't know, like addicted to it or something. But so he wants to do it again. Oh no, he starts evolving. He starts evolving really quick. So he starts turning into like a fish person. And they're like, what are we going to do? Oh no, Tom's turning into a fish person. So then he kidnaps Janeway and takes her through the transwarp drive, and they both evolve into like fish,
That's weird.
like salamanders. And then they mate, and they have babies.
Oh, Tom, that's
then
Commander Paris, right?
Yeah, and then the void. Then they find them, and of course they just like lampshade, like, oh, the doctor turned them back into normal humans again. You know
What?
We just reversed your DNA cycle or whatever. And they just like, well, we're never going to talk about that again.
See, I like absurdism, and I like my fantasy and sci-fi to be weird, but I need some kind of grounding, and that's why I don't like the fucking holodeck and stuff like that.
The holodeck is the most problematic thing in Star Trek.
There was a
It's-
great, I think it was a Reddit thread, and somebody was like trying to, it was kind of like an apologetic for like why they have the holodecks and stuff like that. And somebody was like, it was a conversation between two Vulcans, and one Vulcan was like, are you sure about like why do we have the humans in Starfleet? You know, maybe we should break this alliance. They're
God.
so illogical. And then the other Vulcan's like, no, you don't get it. The humans are very vital. And I'm like, well, why? And he's like, the humans have something that none of us have. They'll like strap a warp drive that they barely understand to their back and like like risk the entire universe, and they'll like put these holodecks that are constantly malfunctioning on their ships, and they
EJ,
push the envelope.
They
push the envelope.
What?
There's the salamanders, yep.
What the heck?
That is literally how that episode ends, and it's like, yeah, it was super disturbing.
Is it trying to
don't know.
write?
Is it trying to write?
Yeah, it's either
What do you
like it looked like the tendril
No,
was
they're-
like trying to draw.
No, they've evolved beyond humanity into Komodo dragon salamanders.
And then they just roll up and they're like, "Hey guys, we got you."
Oh, there they are. Oh,
Yeah, it
look,
was a
that
very, like-
salamander looks just like Janeway.
It really had a we wrote ourselves into a corner ending. It's like,
Yeah.
well, what the hell do we do now? They're both salamanders.
But maybe the
I don't know.
holodeck-
An away team finds them and they turn them back into humans. The
But
end.
maybe the holodeck was Roddenberry's like genius idea. It was like after he was like, okay, we're gonna need bottle episodes. We need a
Yeah, but
bottle
they can do that
episode
on any
generator.
planet. They do it on any planet.
But they tried it.
I don't know.
Yeah, you know, it's
That story needed a little more massaging, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But yeah, all right.
Like,
not everyone likes Star Trek.
that
so I
story
guess,
should take a trip to Ryza. That's a Star Trek joke. That's a really deep.
That was a
Trek
deep
joke.
cut, Bob,
Yeah.
and I got it, and I liked it.
That joke was designed specifically for the hardest core Star Trek fans.
They need
Yeah,
the
that's
Ryzen
fine.
fertility statue.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a fertility
I
statue.
think we are spent.
All right, I'm done. I'm done
Yeah.
with you.
I think we're spent. Thank you guys for hanging out with us tonight. Whoa, you're going crazy! Whoa, there's a hurricane in South Carolina. That was another video we made. Was remember
Oh
the
yeah,
hurricane
the
video?
first time we learned how chroma keying works.
Yeah.
No. You're talking about the hurricane when there was an actual hurricane. So we were like, let's make a comedy video.
Yeah, and we
I don't
filmed it in
remember
an
that.
actual. It was. I think that was the birth of Kingsley Savage, my news anchor character.
It was.
I remember
And,
the news anchors.
Pope Otis.
videos done. Yeah.
Yeah, Pope Otis. Yeah. No,
our
we
news
did
anchor
a
names.
we did a short film about reporting on how people were like college students were having hurricane parties and stuff.
Yeah.
Nope. That's completely.
We really just
excised
wanted
from
to
my
talk
brain.
like newspaper reporters
That's really
and
all
use
it
our
was.
weird newspaper reporter names.
And make sure we
Did
didn't
you have
owe-
a newspaper
owe somebody
reporter name, Ryan?
No, I don't think I was part of the reporter stuff.
It was just you and me, Pope Otis and Kingsley Savage.
Yeah. Back to you, Kingsley.
Yeah.
I remember
Pope
doing
Otis was the
the
anchor.
graphics
Kingsley
package
Savage was
stuff. Yeah.
with the reporter on the field.
Right.
in
I
the
was
field.
I was the field reporter, and you were the anchor. What did you say, Ryan? You like to do what?
I did
what?
the graphics package like for the names that popped up on the bottom.
Oh,
of the,
yeah.
on the screen.
That's right.
I remember. That was when you were flirting with the idea of being a graphic designer, right?
That's when I was taking that Flash class. I think you took it with me. Remember you took it another time.
Oh yeah, with the professor who was
horrible
actually pretty
class.
cool.
Iggy
It was a
Lord
terrible
says-
class, but the
Iggy Lord says
Bartowski?
we
Bart, was that
definitely
his name?
need
Bart.
remakes of these. I think we would love to make remakes of them.
They're on.
I'd be into it.
pretty-
Yeah.
Most of them are
Oh my
still up
God.
on YouTube.
yeah, you could find them.
Yeah, you can
Maybe
find
we
them.
should-
They're really bad, so maybe you shouldn't find them.
If you want to see a bunch of 18-year-olds just trying their damnedest to be funny and failing.
So I truly think the concepts and a lot of the writing are all really good, but our acting and our filmmaking was really bad. We were literally doing those to learn how to make movies. That was the whole point.
Maybe next episode in the after party we could pull some of those out.
Yeah, that would be fun. Next time we're all in the same place, we should pick a select few of
There it
those
is.
and try to remake them.
I'd be into it. That's a cool challenge. I'm down with that.
There are some real bad ones.
But there are some really good ones, like my first short film ever, which was Robbo.
forgot.
Really,
wouldn't
actually,
show my
that one
screen
stands
anymore.
up. I saw that one about a year ago, and it stands up to the test of time.
Robbo the Robot's
And the twist
Hideous
ending
Secret.
surprised me because it had been so long since I watched it.
You forgot about it?
Yeah,
Oh, there's
that
that
was good.
trailer. That was one of my favorites right there.
Wait, what is it?
That's
Look at me.
Oh,
I'm
for
so
the
young.
last days of
Too-
Abraham Lincoln.
Too much, too
No,
fast.
this is Too Fast, Too
That
Furious.
was just the
Oh,
one
Too
we
Fast-
made.
Too
no.
much, too fast. Sorry.
Yeah.
Too much.
We did
too
a
fast.
we did a Too Fast, Too Furious spoof. We
Hot
made that
dog
when
eating.
it was coming out, and it was about the hot dog eating champion.
No one needs to watch any of these. This is not-
This one is
At least I'm
one
not
of our
playing the
better
audio.
ones. This one's one of our better ones.
It's a little cringy for many, many
We're all
reasons.
super cringy. Look at us. There's all three of us.
Oh,
Hey,
look
there
at
we
us!
are. Aw.
What the heck? Ryan played the tycoon who funded my hot dog eating career.
Yeah. Oh god, this is really good.
Wearing 3 different shirts.
There's dust on that camera lens.
It was like one thing about that trailer or that video. Like I don't know why we thought that those particular movie trailers from like the summer of 2003 would stand the test of time.
So what that
Because we
movie
just-
was, though, if you remember the style, we were doing a
It was a mashup.
of Too Fast, Too Furious mashed up with Seabiscuit.
Seabiscuit.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
we
it
also
was
mixed in
Seabiscuit.
this weird what's the guy's name? Michael McConaughey speedboat movie.
Yeah. There's a
It was like
That's
every
right.
trailer from that summer.
right.
We just mixed them together.
Yeah. There's
I still have that robot head in my parents' house.
Robbo the Robot's Hideous
I think.
Secret. That one you got to go watch yourself. Don't spoil the ending.
Yeah, Robbo's Hideous Secret might be the only one that's worth actually watching.
We should
No, I think
we should
both the
if we
background
remake a
ones
movie
are
it should
worth
be that
seeing.
one. So
Both the backwards speak, I think, are our best because they're just so absurd.
the backward speaking ones are for sure.
Oh yeah, those are pretty good.
Those are definitely a
my memory.
really good
Girlfriend.
insight into our absurdist humor. Yeah.
Yeah, and also just the early 2000s.
Oof. Wearing fake dreads.
Also,
Womp
remember
womp.
that we had to do one of these every week, and we didn't necessarily
Yeah, that
want
was
to
the
every
thing.
week.
Sometimes it was like, it's Friday, and we haven't even come up with an idea
Poser
yet.
Pete.
Poser Pete. Oh, God.
That's really funny.
We both
Oh my God.
sucked.
Yeah.
There we are.
Jesus Christ.
What were we doing?
It was a skater video.
I know. It really, the funny
was
thing
usually
is, it
behind the
really
camera,
is
though.
like a skater video.
I didn't really
It's
tend to be
long.
in
It's
them very
8
much,
minutes.
right?
Is it
Because I was usually
8
holding the
minutes
camera.
long? Who the hell edited this?
It's so long.
We were trying to get that YouTube revenue. No, this was way
Okay,
before
wait.
YouTube,
It
actually.
changes
Yeah,
around
YouTube
halfway.
did not
okay.
have monetization.
It goes
at this time.
sepia.
I know. There was not even a YouTube at that point. We were like,
Yeah.
Oh, there
3 or
must be
4 years
dumb
before
music on
YouTube.
top of this right now. Oh no.
oh yeah.
Ryan, was this
I'm
your
s- I'm
first editing
cringing
job?
at myself. Did
Huh?
Ryan edit this one? I don't think so.
I
I don't
know.
think I edited this one.
I think I edited it.
There were definitely
Do you remember-
early on in our short filmmaking career a lot of edits that were clearly done because we thought stuff was funny and it just wasn't.
Or we
Yeah.
were literally editing it the night before and we had to render it. So we only had like maybe 30 minutes to edit or something like that.
Yeah, right. Because we had to start the render,
Oh yeah,
and it
because
was
we
going to
had
take
our
all
like
night to render.
our like 2.1 gigahertz processors.
It was worse
It's
than that.
so
I think
90s, even though it's 2000s.
that's the weird thing about time. Those decades blur together.
Mm-hmm.
We are the worst. I hate this.
It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad.
Ugh.
Yeah. Well,
Why
we're
are
gonna
you
go.
showing
We're
it?
gonna go.
Why are
maybe
you showing people?
we'll
yeah,
reminisce-
let's
I
go.
can't look away now.
We'll reminisce about this. I think we should remake Robbo the Robot's Hideous Secret. one
Extreme
day.
pipe smoking.
Extreme.
Yeah, I forgot. You guys went through a pipe phase.
We
I still smoke
founded.
pipes.
We founded.
It's an addiction now.
we were like hipsters.
We were hipsters before hipsters were cool.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Because like we founded a club at the school called the. God,
Wow.
that was good.
I had a handlebar mustache club in 2003.
Yeah.
All right, let's go. Let's
Yeah,
go.
we gotta get
I
out
gotta
of
get out of here.
Because
I can't handle this
Extreme
anymore.
Prince of Persia wall jump. Oh, Nick J.
Oh,
was
this hurt.
crazy.
This sucked. I remember this. We were both trying, like, who
He-
was that? Nick
he-
J? Nick J could do that.
Keep
jump.
watching,
We
'cause he
definitely
did it.
couldn't.
I've got one last story though before we go. It was when we were making the movie, the Buddy Cop Show Western episode, and we had to hang Ryan, so we put him in a harness.
Oh, that made me so mad.
That was from a season. It should make you even more mad to know that to remember that it was from a season of Buddy Cop Show that
Doesn't
never got
exist,
released.
yeah.
Never got.
He got that episode did get released via Drinking in the Morning.
Oh, okay.
Actually, finally. But yeah, it was, it was the most angry I've ever seen another human being.
Yeah.
If I was able to, I would have hurt you.
Yeah, you were hanging from a harness that
It
was
like
like
like a safety harness, and it was
it was.
all up in my
constricting your-
jaw.
But we didn't know what we were doing, so we put it on wrong, and it was like clamping your junk, right?
It was killing me, and
Yeah.
I was hanging from it.
Oh man, what a time!
I'm sorry, Ryan. I feel bad about it, but you were kind of angry.
I know.
Oh, because we already had to deal with the horses that hated us. And then Bob tried to get on my horse, which was bigger, called Diesel. He's like, "Oh yeah, I can handle it," because I had to just jump off of it, and it dropped him right off of him.
Yeah. Good time. It was a good time.
Oh, we better stop the stream before people see that we painted a cat.
That's
Oh,
why
yeah.
I moved ahead.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go.
All right, we'll
Goodbye.
see you guys.
Peace,
Bye,
Poda.
everybody.
Poda died last week. Poda is
that
gone
is
now.
sad. That is sad.
Tell me about it offline.
All
Goodbye.
right, bye.